Break down the walls. We live.
We are live. Yes, welcome to the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast. We're here to talk some wrestling with all you guys, as usual. Austin Pez Howell, I'll be kind of running the ship tonight. Jacob Barber's doing the haha funny thing again tonight. Hopefully, he'll be back with us for our game night next week. But I'm here with my fellow Lonely Marks, Mr. Richie Goodacre. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, no, going good. Just I had my name earlier on JPS stream as Man Bun Jesus, but because it's only a little tiny one. So, but it's hard to. Yeah. Look. I'm.
Don't
I try to
don't
run
go.
the coattails of the new sensation, Mr. Iguana. How dare you?
Dude, just don't go down that road. Just once you start down that road, it's all like that downhill competition you see where people just roll and roll and roll. It's just it can't be good.
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna I'm not turning vegan or starting a rooster course. It's fine. But yeah, look, I'm happy to be here to talk pay-per-views and Mr. Iguana. That's it.
No, we will talk Mr. Iguana. We'll talk Mr. Iguana when we talk for sure. But I don't think he has a pet iguana. I know he likes cats, but probably not iguanas. JPO, I don't think they mix together, too well. But
no, my buddy Justin, who's a referee, actually, he is a big iguana snake guy, and it's cool for when I come over.
Yeah.
I could never do that personally. I'd be afraid to still in his cage, still in his fucking cage.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming up against a lot of wrestling over the past weekend here, a lot of news, another good week here.
Yeah, no, very, very busy week. So, we got a lot to get into. We've had a couple of busy weeks of wrestling news and things going on. But yeah, we'll kind of, we talked off air. We'll probably go in just kind of a roughly chronological order as far as the news goes. And we'll weave in, some other news and tidbits as we go along. But yeah, we kicked off this past weekend with Worlds Collide. Yeah, the AAA WWE co-production. I hope, did you guys watch any or all of the event? Richard,
yeah.
JPO? Yes. Excellent. I certainly did as well.
I group watched it with a couple people.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, we'll definitely get into it. Just wanted to get a consensus if you guys make sure you guys watched it. I thought, overall, big thumbs up to the show. I thought the show was super entertaining. We had a lot of fun. Nice little showcase of AAA. Yes, I think Mr. Iguana is the new sensation coming out of the show. Even so, he even got if you noticed, a quick video package on Raw, showcasing him. I know there's a lot of interest to even, maybe have him start making some main roster appearances. I don't think he's going to be like a regular roster guy, but certainly make appearances.
Apparently, according to him, they told him, we don't want you to go to NXT. Want you to go straight to the roster. They want him to be a main roster guy.
Yeah, I guess his merchandise they put out very quickly after the show is like one of the hotter selling merchandise. And yes, and some of his segments and things that went on their YouTube channel, were some of the highest rated. He is definitely something fun coming out of there. We got to see a lot of the other showcase stars. I thought the 4-way was excellent. Yeah, Javon Evans looked great. That dude gets better and better every time I see him. He was very, very good. We had a match come out of it that we'll talk about at Money in the Bank, where Octagon Jr. ended up challenging Dominic Mysterio. And we got our 5th match, JPO. We'll talk about it, but we did get our 5th match as we were like, 4 matches? Come on, Triple H, what are we doing? We'll get there. It wasn't much of a match overall. We'll talk about it. Then our main event, Vikingo and Chad Gable. Hell of a match. Maybe match of the weekend. Could be talked about. Those guys having like a 20-plus minute banger at the show. Just kind of we'll get our sort of overall thoughts on the show, what you guys thought. I watched it mostly with the Spanish commentary. I watched the first match with Corey Graves and Conan. I thought Conan, I know he was trying his damnedest, but he was putting me to sleep. I'm sorry.
Was he?
Yeah, dude, he was.
If that's your damnedest.
Yeah. I know he was trying, but he's not a commentator. I know he's had some health issues and whatnot. I'm glad they threw a guy the bone. I'm sure he has a lot of knowledge and knows a lot of people personally. I get it. I like seeing Corey Graves, but yeah, the commentary was kind of killing me. So I switched over to the Spanish commentary. And if you did, as I did, those guys, the three guys, were super enthusiastic, very high energy, added a lot to the show. I can mostly understand Spanish. I used to be able to speak it a little bit, mostly in high school, but I've still got a little bit of that where I can understand kind of the gist of what they're talking about. But they were very, very fun, had a lot of energy. So if you want to go back and watch the replay, I just felt it was appropriate to watch it with the Spanish commentary. It was good stuff there. But we'll go around the horn, get you guys overall thoughts on the show. We don't need to go like match by match for this one, but Richie, kind of some of your thoughts on Worlds Collide.
Reportedly, they were trying to get Mike Tenay, which would have been kind of cool because obviously a throwback. He's obviously loves his lucha stuff. He would always get into They were giving him WCW to talk about cruiserweights and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So obviously it didn't work out, but that would have been all right. But maybe to do another one. But yeah, no, the actual show itself was great. I think there was a lot of.
We'll talk about the mystery competitor. I think there's several options.
I've got an idea. It wouldn't actually be that exciting. Maybe people are. But anyway, I just think it's it was a great show, and just a different show. A show I never thought I'd see, like a WWE combination. The cynical part of me is thinking, would we have that if there was an AEW CMML show not coming like literally next week? It was to compete with them, but it was still really really good. It was a lot of fun, and I think a lot of great new prospects were able to get a huge platform, obviously Mr. Iguana, Psycho Clown's another one.
I would love to see guys. Psycho Clown and Pagano, who also looks like a Psycho Clown, as like some new insane clown tag team, I think would really spice up the main roster. I don't know about you guys, but get those guys on Raw as like a tag team now. You know what I mean? The clowns.
Amber Alert.
Whatever. Oh yeah, you can turn those off on your phone. By the way, I figured it out. But
I'll look at. They don't happen that often. God forbid I could help. I can't this time.
Well, yeah, but okay. Side tangent. My thing about Amber Alerts though is what do you expect me to do with the Amber Alert if I'm sitting at home? Look out my window. If I don't see the car going by right that second, what else am I supposed to do?
I will say there's a movie that just came out with it's Hayden Panettiere and Sarah James Williams, and it literally is they get an Amber Alert and she's like, isn't that the car they just talked about? That's literally what happens.
Unless you're on the road and you see it right next to you, I don't see what you're supposed to do about the Amber Alert. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I'm just saying. Look, no offense. I'm all about finding missing kids, but actually, statistically speaking, the vast majority of Amber Alerts is the parent. There's a visitation thing, and they just don't show up for the appointment, and they put out an Amber Alert. That's most of what it is. Statistically, look it up. I'm not lying about that. Anyways, Richie, back to Worlds Collide.
How do I transition back from Amber Alerts back to wrestling? I get you mean. But the actual the show was fantastic. All the matches I thought clicked. The 4-way was really good. I think it's definitely obvious already that they're going to be using Ethan Page better than AEW is using him. He's great. I also like he's using the Twist of Fate lately as well, or Twist of Grin, which you've got. But and then the other matches, the Chad Gable by Kingo was fantastic. I stupidly, we'll get to it, thought that because of this match they might throw him a bone. No, but it was still fantastic. Probably it'll be at least it'll be up there in at least our best click of the year so far. Well, maybe it wouldn't surprise me if it's on our best of the year when it comes to the end of the year. So it was a really good show.
Yeah, excellent show. JPO, your thoughts on Worlds Collide?
Yeah. Now, first, just to piggyback real quick, I remember in our private chat, I was like, you can listen to the Spanish commentary. And then after a couple of matches, I was like, maybe I should switch over to Spanish commentary.
It was fun, dude. Those guys had a lot of energy, man. It was fun.
I'm like, and it's because it's exciting. It's fun shit. I remember the entire time you did, and literally Conan was like, "Oh, what a plancha!" Like he's fucking sell me, baby. Come on, man. Corey
that's my issue with Joe
Tessitore.
It's my issue with Joe Tessitore. He would do the same thing. Like
he's definitely. I'm still. I totally get what you're saying. He's still a notch above Conan, though. At least Tessitore almost sounds like he cares. He just doesn't emote greatly. Like Conan literally sounded like he was like, "Yeah, what a suicide dive." By God, he's got kids.
It just sounded like Corey was like trying to pry information out of him most of the time.
It really did,
like
man.
It was just,
and like honestly, I wasn't surprised because I don't love his podcast. Even then, like even if he's telling me like interesting shit, he's not a great storyteller. At least anymore. Maybe back in the day, maybe it's the injuries. I don't know. But I didn't love the commentary. But again, that's a very side note. Like, and Corey did enough to where it balanced it out for me throughout the night. But yeah, no, I mean, fun show. You know, you had 2 6-man tags. You had a fun 4-way. Again, probably the women's match in this case, and I love what the Money in the Bank one we'll talk about. In this case, might have been the worst match. But I thought that was even a pretty watchable match here. And then that finale living up to. I would say surpassing actually my hype in general too. I'm glad to see Gable get a great main event, giving it time too to stew. But Kingo looked great, fun. You know, again, I thought AEW was going to sign him or he's going to keep being a AAA kind of free agent back and forth. You know, it's fun to see. Now he's killing in WWE. It's pretty cool. The thing no one saw coming. You know.
Yeah, no, I was honestly surprised it wasn't Rey Mysterio instead, given the fact that he was on the show at the beginning, kind of doing the introduction, like having Rey. I think
he doesn't know the talent as well, so I could see on paper Conan making sense because at least he literally knows everyone. Because let's be honest, Rey Mysterio doesn't know who the fuck Mr. Iguana is. He probably doesn't really know even Octagon Jr. and Aerostar, like you know what I mean. Rey Mysterio's a WWE guy, so unless he's really studying AAA, so on paper it makes sense. And not everyone's great at commentary. You know what I mean? So I don't know if Rey might have been better, but I don't know if he would have been great. He might have been. I'm just saying we don't know that.
On paper, Conan would be better. Makes sense because he's the owner of he's involved. He's like a legend.
He knows the talent. He can give, and he was good at giving some insights. It's just he definitely was missing the entertainment and smell of it.
Like in his heyday, he was huge in Mexico. So
I might say, just as a fun experiment, JPO, if during the week you pull up like at least the semi-main event and the main event, which are very good matches, pull up the Spanish commentary. It'll give you a much more appreciation for those matches. I think, like at least the hype, you know what I mean, the energy of like the the near falls and the big moves and stuff. So they were fun. But yeah, even if you don't,
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see if they keep it for next time. Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, and I do think the show was overall success. I know it's had combined between the 2 streams because you combined the both over I think 5 million views total, like between the 2. So fairly successful there as far as the amount of people watching. So I would hope maybe down the line, we don't need one of these all the time, but I could see them doing another one, before the end of the year, doing another kind of end of the year mashup show again. So I could definitely see that given how successful this one was. So wouldn't be surprised if that gets announced maybe for November, December, something like that. Would make a lot of sense.
There's the news that tracks with what we're saying about WWE will be involved. AAA does not want WWE's involved. I think there's a rematch announced at Triple Mania with Vikingo and
they just added a cage stipulation, so I think it'll be in a cage. So but I would imagine Vikingo will come out of that probably champion again, obviously. But you could run him, but you could definitely run him versus somebody else in WWE, for a crossover or anything like that. So, we'll see what happens. But I would not be surprised if you hear another show announcement very soon, about another crossover. So, overall, I give the show a big thumbs up. I very much enjoyed it. So, good stuff. Go back and watch it if you didn't watch it, and watch it with the Spanish commentary. Good stuff.
No, you literally have no excuse.
No, it's on YouTube. Yeah, easy to find. So go check it out. But right after that, we of course moved from the Kia Forum to the Intuit Dome and headed over to Money in the Bank. Yes, we'll go through this one, pretty thoroughly. But yeah, we kicked off the evening with the women's Money in the Bank match. We had Alexa Bliss, Julia, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Viker, and your eventual winner, your new Miss Money in the Bank, Naomi, taking home the W there and becoming Miss Money in the Bank, where I'm sure she will have some nice caution tape wrapped up, over her briefcase. I would imagine they tend to bedazzle
they shared
that.
a fun little thing. She posted on, I don't know, Twitter or wherever. She opened up her briefcase and showed what was inside of it.
Yeah.
There's caution tape. There's razor blades. There's a taser. There's a Jimmy Uso action figure. There's like all sorts of little fun little gadgets.
Okay, so be careful when you turn that into the people at ringside when they go to reach for the contract.
Yeah,
don't get cut up by the razor blades. Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Jordan Grace commented on that. She's like, "Where's the gun?" And she's like, "Who are you, the ops?"
But yeah, so I thought this match was okay overall. It felt very kind of safe. Like I kept waiting for some of the bigger sort of spots, and we really didn't get a whole lot of them. We had the double code red spot. We of course had Stephanie doing the devil's kiss on top of the ladder, which I figured they would do something like that at some point. But yeah, like all the other, it seemed a little sloppy, out of place here and there. Like I'm not saying everybody needs to kill each other, but it felt like I could have used a little more aggression in the match a little bit for what it was. But yeah, Naomi eventually getting up there and taking the briefcase. JPO, kind of your thoughts over the women's Money in the Bank side of things here.
Yeah, not too much different from you. I had a good time with it. I think it's a good opener. Again, maybe there's logic of like maybe you don't go too crazy because you want to save it a little bit for later. I don't know if that's part of the logic or not. I liked it. I don't know if it's one I'll go back to, ever again, or it's definitely no top 10er, ladder matches we've seen. Mm-hmm. But I thought for the most part it was good.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, I sort of had the same opinion as you. I think it was a bit clunky in parts, so it's not one of my favorites. But yeah, there was like good spots there. Like, like the most popular person in the match is the one I thought was least likely to win. When it was cool that like she does that whole monster spot where it's like, oh, she's buried under ladders. Oh no! But and then it's like, yeah, no, she comes out. But yeah, I thought that was. It's cool, but the only like the spot that I was like that made me go, "Ooh, that one!" That was like when I think it was like Alexa Bliss went like ribs first or whatever on that ladder. That was a little bit gnarly. That code red spot could have been cool, but that took like half an hour to set up. There was like a moment where there was a moment where
you're like looking back at each other. Okay, are you ready? Okay, are you ready?
I felt like there were people that all the pick competitors were lost for a minute there, like they're waiting for someone to do something. It's like nothing's happening. And then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, they got to wait for the spot. But yeah, it just took so long to set up. And then, yeah, like literally Roxanne looked at Alexa, was like, you ready? And then, it was, but yeah, it was all right. But yeah, I was cool with, but yeah, it's cool that Naomi won. I think she's, coming to her own as a heel here. I can see her holding the briefcase for a while. I don't necessarily think you need to cash in sooner or whatever. I definitely prefer the winner of the Money in the Bank as opposed to we'll get to in a minute. I thought the match was a bit clunky, not the best one, but still watchable.
Yeah, for sure. And then we did get our fifth match on the show, which was added during, as we said, during Worlds Collide, where Octagon Jr. and Dominic Mysterio got into a little scuffle, and Dominic challenged him and put his title on the line. Seemed a little backwards for a heel to just willingly put his title on the line, but but regardless of that, we did get Dominic Mysterio defeating Octagon Jr. to retain his championship in 4:55, so under 5 minutes. Both guys going about 100 miles an hour in this match, hitting all those spots. I think Octagon looked, good for what he was doing. Looked very fun, but the crowd probably not as big a reaction as he obviously got at the AAA show. But a decent little showcase for what it was. I think if you actually had Mr. Iguana on this main show, that might have been, more of a showcase. Give him a few extra minutes and let him, do some of his entertaining stuff. I think that would have been fun, just to get them out there, at least for the the entertainment aspect. But yeah, I mean, not much to talk about here, JPO. But any brief thoughts on this one? Yeah.
Mixed bag here because again, I'm happy there's a fifth match, but we got a short ass fifth match here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mind it being Octagon and not Iguana. Save him. Almost milk that a little bit more. Plus, I don't think no one saw that coming too. I think it was a little too late to make that call. True. Yeah, it's kind of too late to really make that call unless they made it audible. They're like, never mind Octagon, we're pivoting. Because again, I think these two could have had a better match. Just literally give them like 3 to 5 more. Because again, like you could tell, like they were going a million miles an hour. They weren't ended. I remember thinking like, oh shit, it ended, and that was even before I looked and saw that like it hadn't even reached the 5-minute mark. It's right below 5. So, it's fine. This almost felt like a rushed TV match, though. You know what I mean? So again, it really bothers me that because nothing was like crazy. I guess the main event. Oh no, the other one's got time, but. I don't know. I still feel like I don't see why this couldn't have been given at least 3 more minutes.
Yeah, at least I figured like 3 more minutes. I mean, it would have really hurt to have an 8-minute match, in the show. Like, 8 minutes, your average kind of Raw match. Yeah, not that bad. Yeah, Richie.
Yeah, I guess I get that you want like a AAA, like sort of Mexican showcase on like a major pay per view, but like it's like me personally, I would have preferred like a feud that's maybe been set cooking. I think we know now why maybe it wasn't Jacob Fatu and Damien Priest. We'll get to that. But Sheamus and Rusev, that were only kind of called the tag team. We'll beat that drum we'll keep beating that drum until there's more tag team matches, tag team championship matches on pay per view. They could have done something with both tag titles. I also like how they're on Raw. They're doing that whole shtick with the New Day now, where like you're not facing anybody. Oh, and you're not defending against anybody. They're doing that with New Day now. It's just an excuse because they don't have any tag teams on Raw. That's what they're doing. It's like, yeah. So
again, get those 2 clowns on the Raw roster. I want to see the clown tag team and spice it up a little bit. I'm totally down with Psycho Clown and Pagano as like the clown tag team. I am in. Bring them to Raw. Yeah.
Do that. You've got because they've got like SmackDown's like kind of there, but Raw got fucking nothing. Very few tag teams.
No, SmackDown's got a great tag roster. They just have
SmackDown's doing just fine. They're just like
them,
they just they still don't really like put them in the main slot other than doing that TLC match when they did. Don't showcase them super hard. Probably like they should. You got to give the crowd a reason to care about them. You got to push it.
But the match in itself, it was fine. It was just short. I like how Dominic Mysterio is like so far. I think he's just defended the title against Shapes. He's defended against Pentagon and now Octagon. Is there a Hexagon?
I'm sure there is one out there somewhere. Yeah. Hold on. Hexagon wrestler. I'm pretty sure there might be Hexagon Dark. Yeah. That was in Lucha Underground, so kind of.
Oh yeah, but is that just Pentaplay Hexagon?
I don't know who it is, but something. So yeah, not much to talk about there. We moved on to our third match. We had moved on to the women's Intercontinental Championship, and Becky Lynch defeating Lyra Valkyria to capture the title there by, of course, cheating and slightly pulling those tights for the ending pinfall, leading to the stipulation where Lyra had to raise her hand in victory. And of course, like a heel does, it can't just be the raising of the hand. It had to be, oh, you raised my hand. Okay, now raise my hand and let's face all 4 sides. Okay, now let's strap the belt on me. Let's keep going and going and going. It's like the Darth Vader. I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it again. And of course, Lyra just getting fed up with the added stipulations and whatnot. But yeah, still, I think these 2 ladies have great chemistry. They've had good matches all around. The Backlash match was good. This match was good. I can see them running it back, maybe even again at Evolution or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I think they've had really great matches so far. And now with the addition of Bayley into the equation, which we'll get into on Raw, you can even see kind of a triple threat situation as well. But yeah, a really, really good match here as they've had so far. But yeah, Richie, your thoughts on this one?
I thought this was a really good match. Yeah, these two have really click in the ring. I think Lara's getting over quite well. She's really good. That was it. That sort of axe kick, scissor kick that off the railing was gnarly. I thought that landed pretty well. And the was it the her finisher on the outside was cool as well. I think it's just a really well done match, and they have great chemistry. I've been liking this feud more than I thought I would. I don't think Becky needs a title, but I think maybe it helps gain the title importance. I think it's good. Then my only gripe a little bit wasn't even with the match. It was like sort of partway through the match, the crowd were chanting, "We want truth." I'm like, I know you want truth, and we get that. But I know you want truth, but can we, can you
focus on the match here?
Can you pause the chance for a bit, and it's kind of disrespectful to the people working their ass off in the match, maybe it's not even that. It wasn't like the match was boring either. You just kind of like, kind of chill out. I thought the match was really good, and so I'm looking forward to what comes next here.
JPO, your thoughts on the IC title match here, the ladies?
No, I thought this was good. I'm glad that we got a good, solid one-on-one match now. You know what I mean? I love a wrestling card that has a little, a mix of things here. Last one was rushed. This one was a good amount of time. This was good. I like this.
I don't know if that. The triple threat will be. I would lean more towards Evolution, probably more than Night of Champions. I think they're going to feature some other titles on Night of Champions, but I can see them doing it because Evolution will need those high profile matches as they start to put that title, that card together for that one. So I can see a lot of these feuds coming to a head there since it'll be the showcase. So I'm sure that title will certainly. I think both, at least of the the IC and the US title, will be defended on that Evolution show, I'd imagine.
I think so. If anywhere, they should be there. Imagine if they weren't.
Well, and I'd imagine the women's tag ones, as we'll talk about on Raw, I could see a women's tag match, Bella Twins situation as they might be setting up. So that could be interesting. Is that money from the Money in the Bank or Cash App, JPO?
I made so much money on Cash App, y'all.
Cash App. We had so much money from Cash App, we had to slap it on the Money in the Bank briefcase. Cash App presents Money in the Bank.
Did you obtain that money by scaling the
Fireball whiskey ladder?
The Fireball ladder?
Because
all over the place, man.
You guys know
that any corner.
This is going to be UFC style. They are going to have logos on the trunks very soon. You guys know it's coming, right?
Yeah.
In the next couple months. So just like the UFC guys have the stuff all over their trunks, it's coming. Speaking of money and Fireball ladders, we had the Money in the Bank men's contract match here with Andrade, El Grande Americano, LA Knight, Penta, Solo Sikoa, and Seth Rollins. I think a very, very good match here overall. Certainly overbooked, as we say, with a lot of interference and whatnot, as far as storylines that progress. But I'm fine with that in a ladder match where people have goons and whatnot interfering, because we did have some progression there. We saw Jacob Fatu getting involved with Solo and finally kind of turning full on Solo, preventing him from climbing the ladder, saying "I hate you, Solo." Finally saying "I hate you, Solo," and turning him there. So they were progress their little feud there, which I'm sure we'll see. Maybe that match is SummerSlam, I would imagine. And then and we had Seth Rollins winning with the help of some of his goons. No CM Punk, no Roman Reigns. A little odd, given the fact that Punk and Sammy were so vehemently against Rollins getting the briefcase in the first place. We could talk about that. A little odd there. Still some great kind of brutal spots here, back and forth. Some good ladder stuff, even with the Fireball ladders and whatnot. But good match overall, and we got to see a lot of progression of story here. But JPO, your thoughts on the men's Money in the Bank here?
Money. Yeah, no. It's a good match. I'm a little bored by the Seth Rollins pick. I feel bad for LA Knight. I was kind of rooting for him.
Yeah, me too.
I know some people claim you can see the look on his face as he's coming out. Like, God damn it, another one. But I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, no, I'm not going to qualm about the match here, and I think we will have fun with the future of Seth Rollins. I just feel bad. Like he's a guy that, like, he just main evented Mania. If you want to put the world title on him, let's say if that is a plan in the future, you have other ways you can do it. I just feel like, damn. I almost wish I was saying this the other day. I kind of wish we would take away the cash in aspect of it and just make it like a guaranteed like SummerSlam shot. Because like I don't know, I'm a little over the surprise cash ins too, and I feel that way they might be more brave to give people chances. Because then you won't have things like Austin Theory going, U.S. title, or them giving it to Otis and not having a plan and then just taking it off Otis. You know what I mean? Like I almost kind of wish we'd do away with that and just make it like a guaranteed title shot at like a big pay per view.
Yeah, or just you say you can use it whenever, but it has to be like I'm using it to make an official match next week or at the next pay-per-view or whatever.
Yeah, RVD did. Yeah,
like RVD did at One Night Stand. Yeah, be like I want you at this pay-per-view.
You have
whatever.
Any of the next 12 PLEs to choose.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not opposed to that. I guess it's just still one of those exciting. And apparently, Triple H kind of agrees with you. He doesn't love the Money in the Bank aspect because he has to book around it every year, so he doesn't.
Well, that's what I mean. It almost becomes inconvenient in a way, and
Yeah.
because now either Seth Rollins is going to win in a cheap way, which is cool, but we've seen it, or B, he's going to look like a putz. Those are your two options.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like either way is that great. Let him have a real match and then cheat to win if you want to put the title on him. Or that way you're not risking him looking like a putz, or at least then he wins it in like a better heel way. Because either way, I'm like, eh.
And because of the way they win most of the time, it doesn't really suit a babyface to win the match. Unless like
because it makes sense for a heel to capitalize on somebody being hurt or injured or something. But yeah, having like a babyface capitalize on like an injured champion, especially if it's an injured babyface champion, that makes it look like, oh, you're kind of a shitty dude.
Well, it made sense with Punk one time because he turned heel afterwards on Jeff Hardy, but it led to a heel turn.
Right.
So, but like if you're just gonna act like it, your babyface afterwards and nothing happens, that's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I was also in the camp where I was rooting for LA Knight as well, just because I think he could use that extra push. It would have been a nice way to get him on Raw and get a change of scenery out of him because he desperately needs a change of scenery off of SmackDown.
Might be on there anyway.
Yeah. So I would have liked to have seen that.
What is the wording of it? Like the gloom is rubbing off. You know what I mean? Like the hype is dying, guys. And I feel bad because if it wasn't for them trying to get to a number with Roman, I think that was the time to give it to him. But unfortunately, that was the middle of a huge storyline of the bloodline and how he's trying to get to 1,000 whatever days. But you're not striking while the iron's hot, man. And now I'm afraid he's going to go down. He's going to go down as another DiBiase, Piper, yada yada. Like, oh, guys, they were almost there. I'm afraid.
So this close, Owen. Like
he's
all
not
these
getting any younger.
Like, he's not a young guy.
He's not a young cat. Like this is kind of his main run is right now. Like not 10 years from now, right now. So I don't know.
To me, if Jey Uso could hold that title for 53 days or whatever, can't LA Knight hold it for a couple months and then move on?
Yeah,
it's not that big a deal. Yeah,
he can have some fun. And I've always said too, I mean, you got two different titles. Like you said, Raw would have been maybe fun if he had catched it on Jay. Like, you know what I mean? You could have done that. Because that could be like I'm not a fan of like month reigns, but I think, like you said, 50 something, 60 something days is not bad. Test the water, see how it works.
And if it gets over with the crowd, extend it a little bit, give them a little extra. Yeah. And if it's working. But it's just we're gonna lose it if he doesn't win, King of the Ring, which he's in, which I don't see him winning that either. It's just like we'll talk about it. Yeah, I don't. You're gonna miss the opportunity. He never won the Rumble. I don't see him winning the Rumble next year. It's just gonna be another one of those what ifs. Our lost opportunities. Of a guy who was super over. But Richie, your thoughts on the bank?
Yeah, I feel like Money in the Bank should be again for those people who are just ready to kind of break through to that level. you can have people in the match that are at that level, but they can't win the match. Like, I'd be just as pissed off if Rhea Ripley won a women's match. Like, no,
well, Naomi's the same way. Naomi, she's getting, she's an established veteran, but like this new gimmick is working, like the heel thing. Like we're using the Money in the Bank now to elevate that gimmick, and it's going to push it to the next level, and her storyline.
Yeah,
it works. Same with Tiffany. Tiffany was hot, like Tiffany. They capitalized on her popularity and put it kind of over the top there. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, and I guess I'd probably be similarly if maybe Alexa Bliss won just because she's had it before. But like she I don't know, like she'd gone and come back, so it's like I guess she's sort of a bit more fresh in the eyes of people. But
yeah, I mean, it's not. Well, yeah, Naomi's had a title before, but it's been so long, and this is a new character. Yeah. My thing with Seth is he literally main evented Mania this year. He was World Heavyweight Champion the year before that. Like, it's not like we're seeing anything drastically different.
We said it going into it. He doesn't need it. He has the strong arm and the power with his two goons with Paul that he can insert himself in whatever storyline by force. Like he doesn't need the briefcase to get a title shot. Yeah. He can just get a title shot by sheer will. He can get a title shot. My
least favorite for two major reasons on top of this reason, cash in or Money in the Bank was Brock Lesnar. Like, no need a fucking Brock Lesnar's Brock Lesnar. Him having the briefcase doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
No, the dance was fun. That was later. That was later.
It was just so they could sell the thing with the boombox on them.
No, but he did that later. That's not true. He did that after. That happened to be funny afterwards.
Yeah. But there's a couple. You're not gonna like, even if he does cash in success, you're not gonna top the one of the best cash ins ever with the highest of the century. You're not gonna do that. I know it's like it's gonna be hard to do anyway. But yeah, I mean, as far as the match goes, I thought it was really good. There were definitely times where I thought any of the people could have won. There was even point for Andrade. I'm like, oh, they're actually going to do it with Andrade. Like, he had some good spots. That spot with El Grande, where he scaled, he got flipped into the ladder and he scaled the ladder and then he went
and then flipped the ladder over and then climbed up. Yeah, that was a great spot. Yeah, I like the creative stuff.
And then he hit with the mask. I'm like, oh, he's going to do it. Oh, he's doing it. But no. And then he got side suplex by LA Knight. I'm like, holy shit. That was generally moment. But yeah, I don't know. Like, these people who are already established don't need the Money in the Bank briefcase. I'm not a fan. And yeah, we'll get to King of the Ring, but I also think another established guy who doesn't need that title.
Need the King of the Ring, who's going to be there anyways.
Will also win at that.
Yeah, we'll talk about the brackets and sort of our predictions for Money in the Bank. Yeah, we'll talk about that as part of Raw when we get there. But yeah, I mean, overall, good match, disappointing outcome, at least from our perspective. Again, Seth, it makes sense storyline wise. It's not like it doesn't make sense, like him looming, his power over the roster, and as we talked about, he is one of those guys that you could realistically see cashing in on either title, not just the World Heavyweight, vice versa, whichever one, as he kind of inserted himself into the Punk, Cena segment, so he could always be looming over either one. So we'll see what they do there. But yeah, I'm with you, Richie, as far as like I would rather use it to push a talent that's hot, at the time and pull the trigger on somebody, even if it's just for a short period of time. I'm fine with that. Using it as a like we talked about with the Mr. Kennedy thing, like that would have maybe propelled him to finally win the title, when he was hot, and it would have worked. So it just is what it is. So we'll see where it goes. Unfortunately, I think the LA Knight, it's trending downward now, and you're missing that boat. And if you try to capture it back, it's just not going to work. It was like the Outrunners. Remember how the Outrunners were super hot for a little while? You couldn't put the title on them. They just didn't, and now they're just dudes on the show. Yeah, like you had like that sliver of opportunity to just go ahead and try. Like, would it have made any difference if they had held the titles for a month? No. Like it would at least given them that opportunity, and then you could work them out later. It just, there's certain times where sometimes you just got to take a chance, just have a little fun. It's just wrestling.
That's like, okay, so whatever they're going to do with Mr. Iguana, they're going to do it kind of soon now, because otherwise they're gonna be like,
it's gonna fade. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta keep the exposure up. But yeah, we'll talk about that. And then we did have our main event. No titles or anything on the line, just a kind of showcase main event. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso defeating John Cena and Logan Paul. Obviously, there was speculation of if Seth got it, both your champions are in this match. You know what I mean? So there could have been sort of an opportunity for a cash in there with both John Cena and Jey Uso in the ring at the same time. But obviously that didn't happen. We talked about that, Brian, as far as like, both the champions were in this match. So that was always kind of a thing. But it didn't happen. Instead, we had what I thought was a fairly dull match. I know my girl and I were watching this and like we were both kind of starting to doze off a little bit during this main event. I'm just like, oh my god, like, okay, can we like all right, well, something's got to happen in this main event. Otherwise, if this just ends with like some pinfall and nothing happening, we were just both saying either a cash in or something, whatever. The last couple minutes was good. They finally picked it up. That moonsault that Logan Paul did onto the announce table was nuts. So
that was perfect.
That was insane. Yeah, and he hit it pretty damn perfectly. So give him his props. He hit it great. And we did have something fairly major happen as R-Truth got involved and nailed John Cena, under a hoodie with the title. We'll talk about the follow up on that. R-Truth, we thought was gone, but he is now officially back. I say R-Truth is gone. Ron Killings is now here.
Put some respect on it.
They put some respect on his name, absolutely. Yes, we certainly will.
Triple H made it sound like it was a plan all along. I'm like, I don't believe.
No. I am firmly in the camp that it was not. There was a backlash, especially with the talent backstage, and they retooled the contract, and they are now going to pivot or just use it and use that opportunity for Ron to do something fresh with his character, which I'm actually okay with. So we'll talk about that when we get to Raw, as far as the follow up and whatnot. Your thoughts, Richie, on this main event and the return of Ron here.
Yeah, it's not much to talk about as far as the match goes. It was just like, standard sort of match. There wasn't like wasn't a lot going on. But, fortunately, it's just like with a kind of a Cena match these days. It's hard to say. It's just like, there was like, I guess, it was, it was fine for what it was. That was cool. I wasn't expecting Truth to show up, but that was cool that he did. I mean, even before he unmasked, I'm like, when you saw the, I'm like, oh, it's a black, it's a black guy. I'm like, who's been feuding with Cena right now? It's like, I'm like, yeah, it's probably R-Truth. So before he even unmasked, like, yeah, that's R-Truth. That was cool, and I think that that definitely woke crowd up a little bit. I don't know. I think the Cena heel turn really did need The Rock, and I think he fucked Cena over a bit. Whatever happened there, I don't know. That was so intriguing, and then just.
And they've done nothing with that in the follow up. Yeah, it's not. Well, when it's all said and done. Like when Cena finally does retire, we'll look back and reflect on this entire heel turn, whether or not it was successful. As of right now, I don't think it's been terribly successful, and it hasn't been that great.
No,
I mean, we'll talk about it. I mean, maybe the Punk stuff will amp it up a little bit because he can kind of bring out the best of people, I think. But we'll see.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was what it was.
JPO. Any thoughts on this main event and the return of
match
Ron?
of the night? Blew Vikingo and Gable out the water. No, actually, I thought the match actually picked up a little bit more than some reason Cena matches. So I didn't hate it, but I always on paper felt an unnecessary PLE main event. The only reason now it makes sense to be a main event was the Truth return. You know what I mean? So kudos to Truth, because the only reason why I'm like, okay, fair enough. You deserve to be the last spot of the card, because otherwise This should have been Saturday's main event. Those title matches should have been here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we further along, we got the Truth thing going, so that was a cool way to end it here. And Truth saved it. Thank you, Truth.
Yes,
the Truth set you free.
Yes, they set the show free. Yes, but yeah, we can kind of transition that into discussing the news and Raw, which was a very newsworthy Raw and a very busy one at that. That got a lot of things going, got some new storylines and some new match stuff going. Yeah, I mean, well, let's talk about Truth. I mean, he did have a follow up where he came out after the Bayley segment where she returned, jumped on the announce table, cut off his hair. Yeah, he's got a new haircut now. Cut off the dreads. Yeah, I did that live. Was that Richie? Yeah.
Bursting. I will say, I think it was a bit too So I will say it was a bit too close to the It was like Bayley returned, and then it was like, oh, cool, and then it was like immediately undercut by the Truth coming out. It's like, yeah, there was no much breather between the two things, so it's just like,
to be fair. What I think it was, they probably already had a format going for Raw, and then they retooled his contract and put together the Truth stuff over the weekend. So they probably had to find somewhere to just put it on the show because it was a pretty loaded show. So maybe it was just like, okay, just run out of the crowd and do it real quick here. You know what I mean? That's probably what it was. Overall. Yeah. But yeah, he cuts this very passionate promo. He thanks the fans, for bringing him back. He said, you did this. The people did this, kind of man the people. And the Truth has set him free. And yeah, they've already started selling merchandise. Ron Killings merchandise. He is Ron Killings. Put some respect on his name. And yeah, it looks like he's kind of going to drop most of the comedy and whatnot, and it's going to be more of a serious take. Kind of going back to his roots. JPO, Ron the Truth Killings is back since maybe the first time since TNA? Question mark, maybe, so I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, good, intriguing way to start. Good promo. I think he sold it pretty well here. I think we're obviously just beginning as far as the storyline is, so kind of it's very open ended. See where this goes. But yeah, so far I'm along for the ride. I'm interested.
Yeah, and you talked about I saw some clips. I didn't see the whole thing of him on what was it, Busted Open, the podcast, the Busted Open Radio. How about somebody called him R-Truth, and he's just like, who? R-Truth. He's like, I'm Ron Killings. You understand? I know who I am. You don't know who I am. I know I am better than anybody else. So I mean, he's definitely watching. Doing kind of a thing. Yeah, I literally just started talking about that. So there you go, Ro. He kind of made an appearance on that and cut another sort of impassioned promo on there. But yeah, we'll see kind of where the storyline goes and how he gets inserted into things.
Apparently, I get the sense that his contract is not it's a different type of contract, and his contract might not be long. It's just an opportunity for it to have one last sort of run. And I think he asked to be Ron Killings, so you could so he's had a chance to be Ron Killings on WTV, so he's got some exposure with the name, so he can use it on indies.
So we're gonna have to get mad at WWE all over again in 6 months. What the fuck? You let him go again?
No, I feel like.
I think if this time, if he lets him kind of do a wrap up thing, I don't think there would be as much of a. Fervor, you know what I mean? Because the guy is
more amicable
up there.
Be like, hey.
Yeah, it'll be like, hey, I retooled my thing. I got to do another kind of farewell storyline, you know what I mean? And now I'm moving on. I don't think there would be as much of a hoopla over that. It was so much unceremoniously of just he's been released and bye, just right after he loses to Cena. And then his last match on TV would have been JC Mateo, not even the Cena thing, that was why I know that's why I know it wasn't part of a storyline, because otherwise his last match wouldn't have been against JC Mateo before they released him, a random match on SmackDown. It doesn't make any sense. So
JC Mateo, by the way, has already fucking got pinned. That's annoying me. It annoys me, but anyway, he got pinned on SmackDown. That's frustrating.
Yeah,
but and meanwhile Carlito's like, hey, anyone want to chant my name? Yeah, you can start chanting my Carlito.
Let's get that hashtag going, y'all.
And everybody's like, yeah, we'll see you at the conventions. It's fine.
Cheryl Logan's like, Valhalla.
Oh no, Val who? Yeah, we had obviously our setup for Cena's next opponent. He cut a promo saying, yeah, he's kind of already, there's no more competition. He's beating the best of the best. Obviously, QC and Punk, cutting his promo about their history and whatnot, and Cena pulling the heel move of saying, all right, well, you want a title match? Let's go where you don't want to go, famously, and let's go to Saudi, and you got to follow me there if you want your title shot at Night of Champions. So yeah, Cena pulling the dick move there. And to be fair, Punk is a hypocrite now. He is going to Saudi Arabia after he said he wouldn't. He is. So
hey man, way to take that. What is it? The dick sucking blood money.
The blood dick sucking money. Whatever it is.
Yeah. He told me to suck a dick, suck a blood.
Well, Punk is now doing that, so
I'm sorry, man. What I meant to say was,
yeah. Now, to be fair, probably
when the paycheck was
when he re-signed with WWE, probably in that thing, it was like, hey, you're gonna have to go work Saudi at some point. We do like 3 shows in here now. You're an A-lister on our show. We go there like 3 times a year. You gotta go.
Punk a little bit of credit. To give Punk a little bit of credit. Mm-hmm. I will say too, I feel like some things have been a little smoothed over these last few years with like some of their higher ups and whatnot. So like I also feel like even Sami Zayn is kind of like giving into it. So I do think politically as well, it's not as egregious as it was 3-4 years ago.
Yeah. I just think if you like, I feel like you probably deal like, hey, you don't have to be on every one of them because he wasn't on the last Saudi one. So it's like, hey, but if we need, if there's a storyline reason, and it was good of the way he did it because it was like, people in the know that he, not a fan of going to Saudi. So it's like, hey, you want the title so bad, you go to Saudi. So yeah, there is that. So like, yeah, you might not be on every one of them, but hey, every now and again, hey.
Brian's wondering how he's going to get treated. I think he's going to get treated very well.
Like a legend.
It's going to be a thing.
They're going to love him.
Because here's the thing, I was listening to another podcast, and there's a guy who knew a guy that lives in Riyadh and said that the ticket sales for that show after that segment, the day after that match was officially announced, are sold out the rest of the tickets. So people are 100% going to be happy to see CM Punk there. It's not going to be a thing of like they're going to boo him.
No, I know that. No, I don't, because I don't think there was hate from their side, and like that's why like I'm sure they did try to convince Punk to do at least some of them because they are running out of superstars, and Saudi Arabia loves big matches. Right. So like we've lost Triple H, we've lost Undertaker, Goldberg's probably on his way out.
Losing Cena soon,
So you're about to lose Cena. So like you're running out of your big like draws in a way, especially for a Saudi show. Like you can still do a big PLE with your new people, but like if Saudi is like we want legends, then it's like well, they're all fucking retiring, man. What do you want me to say?
He's gonna be fine, and Punk's probably gonna make more money off that match than he's gonna make like a high 6 figures at least off that one match. I guarantee it. So he's gonna make
buy Ring of Honor from Tony Khan. Buy Ring of Honor from Tony Khan. Come on, Punk, save it.
But Punk's probably only considered a hypocrite because he's more like outspoken about it. But technically, you could make the argument for Sami Zayn. I still think it's unfair. But
I'm just saying, like,
I said that. I literally said that 2 minutes ago. Yeah.
For anybody who says that Punk is a hypocrite online, you're not wrong. Like, it's not technically wrong. Yeah. But like at the same time, he probably knew that again going into a new contract that like this is part of. If you're going to be part of WWE, this is part of WWE now.
There's no way if both him and Paul and whoever was involved didn't discuss that. They're going to ask him. He knew that he was going to be asked, and I'm sure they knew that they had to ask. You know what I mean?
Like, are you really going to next year have a Royal Rumble without CM Punk in the Royal Rumble? Of course not. Like, he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. Yeah. Like it just is.
Interesting enough, though, with that, he was in the marketing for the Royal Rumble, and then like the next time they put the ad up, he wasn't. So I don't know.
People were wondering. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's probably like it depends. I think if there's a storyline reason for him to be there and it makes sense, it's like put him in there. I think if we need you, you're going to show up. If you don't, if the card's going to be all right by itself, then no. But I think it's just like, look, we know your issues with Saudi, but like if we need you, you show up.
Yeah, well, and again, I think they weaved into the storyline naturally with Cena doing the heel thing of like acknowledging that and being like, okay, if you want your title shot, you got to follow me there. That's the stipulation. So it makes sense at least storyline wise that Punk's gonna have to do the one thing he doesn't want to do to stop John Cena. So
yeah,
I'm fine with that.
They did it really well. Like,
yeah, so they did it well, and they'll play with that with the promos in the upcoming weeks. So yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm sure they'll touch on that again, and whatnot. So yeah, we had that. Bailey returned, as we kind of touched on in that segment with Becky and Lyra. So we'll see kind of a triangle sort of storyline along with that. So she's at least following up the WrestleMania storyline a little later, but we are getting to it as far as that goes. So we'll see kind of where they start to pull the trigger on that. I'd imagine Evolution would be a piece of that. Yeah, we'll get to the Gunther stuff. Let's talk about King of the Ring real quick because we kicked off these King of the Ring brackets, and actually I can pull this up for a visual aid because I have the WWE.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, so let's get a visual aid going here. There we go, and let's see if we can pull these up a little bit. But yeah, so this is the men's bracket, and I'll see if I can kind of. Really
That's good.
I can't really blow it up too much, but
no,
as you can see there, we had our first. These are going to be consisted of fatal four-way matches as sort of your qualifiers to get things going. So we had Sami Zayn advancing on Raw in a match with Penta, Braun Breaker, and Dominic Mysterio. So he is the first one in. And yeah, we're going to get sort of promotional matchups, if you will, in these semifinals here from Raw and SmackDown. Yeah.
I was just going to say we should mention LA Knight got involved in that match. So I guess I don't know if he's going to be on, Raw going, potentially soon.
I just think it just means that in his match, the Fatal 4-Way on SmackDown, Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed will get involved in that match. I think that's what all it is. So, and it probably means he's not going to win that match if we're all likely. So yeah, we've got that one. Yeah, I believe this next match is happening on SmackDown. Randy Orton, LA Knight, Aleister Black, and Carmelo Hayes for that Fatal 4-Way. And on the other side, I believe in 2 weeks, in 2 SmackDowns, we will have Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Andrade, and Nakamura. Naga not gonna win that match at all. So as the Office Space would say. Pinsuke Nakamura, as they've been calling him online as well. And then we will have this match, and oh boy, did my Meat Madness meter go up for this one, Richie? Did it not already? Just with these 3 guys in here, Sheamus versus Rusev versus Bronson Reed versus a mystery opponent. Holy hell, is that some meaty goodness, right, Richie? My God, even just with those 3 guys beating the snot out of each other. And it brings us to our first sort of conundrum. Who is the mystery man? Because I think this is it could be go a number of different ways with who it is. There are rumors swirling. Could be somebody on the roster. Could be somebody we haven't seen in a while. JPO, any thoughts on who our mystery man could be? any ideas at all?
So yeah, I think I know I was going to say later on in my notes, there's a rumor maybe Ilya Dragunov's ready to come back. I know he's been rumored. R-Truth doesn't make any sense. Throughout R-Truth, I don't think that makes any sense to me.
No.
It's got to be someone special. Someone else would throw out AJ Styles. I was like, what? He was just on TV. Like, that wouldn't make any sense.
Well, I think if somebody like AJ or Logan Paul, why wouldn't you just announce him in the first place? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's not a mystery opponent. AJ was just on TV.
Mystery.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, Logan Paul makes 0 sense too because he was just on TV. So it's got to be somebody we haven't at least seen in a minute, whether it's Ilya or I don't know, someone even more crazier than that. So yeah, I don't know. Mr. Iguana is something out there as well, but I mean, I feel like with these meaty guys, Iguana might be El Scrudo. So I don't know.
I think at least intensity-wise, to match the intensity of the other 3, Ilya Dragunov would make sense. I don't know if he would win that match. I don't think he would win, but I think, again, he could match, at least intensity with those 3 guys, and it would make sense to be kind of a meaty match. I don't think Joe Hendry makes sense for that match either. Again, to match the other 3 guys, not really.
For those 3?
No. The style doesn't match.
The one above it maybe had a smack, like a knock. Or was in there? That was a mystery, maybe. but this one doesn't scream.
I don't think Roman makes sense either. That's too big for that. Because
are you really going to have Cody in this shit? Which is weird.
I know, but not to fast forward. Would you do Cody and Roman in a random semifinal of the King of the Ring? No. That's not a semifinal random match. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't really make sense. That's too big of a match for a semifinal thing. So I don't think that is either. And yeah, Karrion Kross is not going to be the mystery guy. They would have put him in already.
My prediction would be very disappointing too. I'm not saying what does happen. I reckon they kept it a mystery because they didn't obviously in kayfabe they didn't know who would win out of Jey Uso and Gunther. So I think it's probably going to be Jey Uso. Yeah.
Maybe, but again, like, does that make sense storyline wise? I guess maybe a little disappointing. Yeah, I would like to see Dragunov back just because we haven't seen him on TV in forever. And yeah, I think he can make a splash at least. He doesn't necessarily have to win. I think you got to kind of rebuild him because he was just starting to get some like momentum and then he got hurt, I think you got to like rebuild him, and kind of reintroduce him again. Just so people may have forgot he was there. I certainly could use a shot of Dragunov on my Raws, so I'm ready for the guy to come back. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. And I don't even know, this tournament, I would imagine Cody's probably going to win that match in the top.
Yeah, that was what I was hinting at. I think Cody's winning.
Cody,
a person who doesn't need King of the Ring, but yeah.
I could see Cody, maybe Sheamus, because I could see Cody and Sheamus running a match on the right side. I think that could make a decent amount of sense. Or even Bronson Reed to a degree, because then you could have, Seth being involved in that to a degree.
Want Rusev, and I don't want Rusev to get pinned yet, so.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see what happens there. I mean, I'm looking forward to the match again, just for meaty wise. I'm looking forward to it. And then on that left side, as much as I want LA Knight to do it, I think the interference with Braun Breaker is going to reciprocate on SmackDown and going to cost him that. So I think it's going to be Orton. So and having Orton and Sammy in a semifinal makes sense there. And yeah, did they run like an Orton Cody finals? In Saudi, I mean, that's certainly a big enough match for it, to a degree. That's a big match, for Saudi, and I mean, it would be kind of a face versus face thing, but you could also run a rematch when he turns heel eventually. So, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Cody then could get screwed. Yeah, somebody else goes through, like a Damian, I could see Damian going through instead. I don't know. So, I mean, I think a few of these are. I know there's like people in each one who are definitely not winning. Your Nakamura's, are definitely, not going through, a few people here and there. But we'll have to see how that plays out.
The only one that I could see winning, like maybe if a Raw person wins, is maybe Sammy.
I could see Sammy winning the whole thing because that would make sense in Saudi because he's big over in Saudi.
Yeah,
him being King of the Ring there, and maybe facing. Yeah, somebody at SummerSlam, because you could run back the Sammy Gunther thing at SummerSlam if you wanted to. That would make sense just for the World Heavyweight title instead of the Intercontinental title. So, I mean, there's a history there. So that can make sense, especially if you're going to do a 2-night SummerSlam, doing that as like a main event night one. I could see that. I mean, Ilya Dragunov, it may be too early for it, but man, you have him run King of the Ring and face Gunther. I'm always down for that rubber match that we never got, but I don't think that's going to happen realistically. I think it'll happen eventually. They'll get to that match eventually, but maybe not that quick. So that's on the men's side of things. Let's scroll down to the women. We already had one on Raw. We had Roxanne Perez defeating Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, and Liv Morgan. So she is our first official semifinalist here. Over on the SmackDown side of things, we will have a match with Jade Cargill, Michin, Piper Niven, and Nia Jax. I definitely think Jade Cargill's going through on that side. I think that's fairly obvious to me that she's probably even going to make the finals. Most likely.
Like the only other person that's like used it that much is Nia Jax, and I don't feel it, but she's not used.
Can I make a side point I meant to make earlier too?
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
And anyone else not a fan of the 4-ways?
I was about to bring that up.
I would rather have a series of a whole bunch of like singles matches. Yeah, just going through old school style. But yeah,
to me,
I don't know.
The fun was you ran the gauntlet. You defeated Bam Bam, Razor, all in like one night, or at the very least over a course of a few weeks. Literally, the winner of this is 3 matches all together.
Yeah.
So no, in fact, when I actually first saw this, I went, "Oh, Ripley versus Sane, that's cool. Morgan versus Perez, that's cool. Like that's how I first read it.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, versus Jax, oh, that's a cool 1-on-1, So yeah, no, I thought it was I'm just not. I wish I liked the 1-on-1 better. Keep it the way it was, and I'm surprised. I guess they just like the name of Night of Champions better than King of the Ring. Kind of weird they're not calling it King of the Ring.
Yeah, I would rather them just go back to calling it King of the Ring, like the old school pay-per-views. Yeah, just call it that, King of the Ring. But yeah,
that implies if the other matches on this card aren't championship matches, then that kind of makes.
They probably won't necessarily will be. They seem to do whatever they kind of want. So that's also a good point. Night of Champions also makes me think every title line because that's what it used to be.
That's what it used to be. So yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. I think it's more of also a fact, JPO, that they've got PLEs every 3 weeks now. It seems like it's like we got to rush.
It's rushed.
All these things. Yeah,
that's probably the biggest decision. I get it.
Yeah.
Probably to again, is to put more things on Raw or segments on Raw that aren't matches. So I guess so. It's like, we'll just put them all together. So yeah.
On the other side, we've got Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, and Candice LeRae. I see Charlotte Flair.
That match.
Candice LeRae getting Candice LePinned in that match, probably by Charlotte Flair, most likely, because I think they're setting up kind of a Charlotte Jade thing here. If I'm kind of scooping ahead a little bit,
I can see Bliss or Green, maybe dark horses, but yeah, it's probably shit. It's probably Flair.
Most likely Charlotte. But this one I think is a little more unpredictable as far as I think there's at least 2 for the final one here. Yeah, we got Stephanie Vicker, Raquel Rodriguez, Ivy Nile, who's definitely not winning, and then the returning Asuka, so which they kind of spoiled before they announced it with like the graphic, which was weird.
Do you think that it was weird that they're doing a random mystery person on the male side, but they revealed Asuka?
You could have had the mystery person be in here and then have Asuka show up on Raw, and I think that would have got a big pop. But because it would have been a nice return. But in this one, I don't know. I'm between Asuka and Stephanie because they could keep she's popular right now. They could give her the win here, or they could give it to the returning Asuka. So I think it's a toss up at least on that one. As far as which of the two takes that. So Malcolm, I agree that I think it's just because they're rushing these pay-per-views and they're all squashed together. They just gotta run this tournament quickly and get to the finals, set it all up. I don't want the finals, Brian, at Saturday night's main event because then it's Saturday night's commercial event and they're all interrupted by commercials. So I don't want that. No thanks. I want to actually see these matches. So I think it'll be we'll see most likely Jade and Charlotte. I think unfortunately I think that's where it's going to go. You're setting that up. We'll see. I don't know.
I could see Perez winning as well. I could see them
maybe.
Or Vicker maybe, but but those 4. Yeah.
JPO, any thoughts on where you see this women's one going? Maybe overall.
I'm leaning towards the woman we're looking at right now. I like the idea of Perez.
Perez, I mean, it could happen. They're putting the right.
I think they're high on her. I think Vicore just kind of came, although it wouldn't make sense, kind of like a Lyra, at least go far. Sure. But I don't know. I think Perez has proven now in NXT, like she's ready.
I mean, they definitely could do it. She didn't win the Money in the Bank, but she could win the King of the Queen of the Ring. So,
and I do think too, the crown is a little more fun for a cocky heel. So I think she could play up the fact that she's the queen now.
And that would play into the Liv Morgan thing. She got over Liv Morgan and then went on to the finals. They could play around with that in the storyline they're doing. Become Queen of the Ring. They could play into that. So there's definitely opportunities there. So some interesting stuff here. Julie's not in the tournament, Brian, because she's going to be winning the U.S. title soon.
She's definitely hinting that. I'm like, she's winning the U.S. title.
Yeah, she's going to be winning the U.S. title soon, so she doesn't need to be involved here. I'm fine with that because she'll have gold soon of a different type. So we've got the King of the Ring going on, so that's at least up some of the shows as far as we got some stakes going on some of these matches. We had our main event on Raw.
Nikki Bella, I guess you want to talk about.
Who gives a shit?
I mean, I would say that Liv Morgan was really good on the show. I thought she was quite she's been quite good. Like, you know.
So what it's going to lead to probably is Liv Morgan and Nikki Bella one-on-one. They'll attack her, and Raquel will attack Nikki Bella, and then the other Bella will show up, and then they'll set up a tag team match. That's where it's going. I'm telling you exactly where it's going right now.
Probably, but yeah, I just want to give kudos to Liv because I think like her kind of.
And then Nikki Bella screwed up Stephanie Viker's name.
Yeah, it's what do you call it? Viker.
Yeah.
Can I be mean for a second?
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw up if Io Sky or anyone else shakes Nikki Bella's hand and goes, "You paved the way."
Oh, so cringy! Cringy!
God.
No, you didn't. You did not pave the way for Io Sky.
No,
you did not.
No, she did
not. Io Sky did not take anything from Nikki Bella ever. No inspiration whatsoever. No paving. No nothing. No.
Io Sky went backstage and was said, "This translates to I thought you were mediocre, right?"
That felt like a Vince segment, like a McMahon segment. So bad. It was bad. Really
I
bad.
hate that they're still sucking up to some of these divas. Like, I'm not trying to be totally mean to Bella. She got towards the end, but like, she was never a workhorse. She wasn't, this wasn't like somebody like Trish that really like put in years of actually becoming a good wrestler, or got hired because she was a good wrestler. Like,
hell, Lita, any of those, the ones who were like megastars.
Lita was a legit wrestler. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Ones who like made themselves into like legit like main event, players. You know what I mean on the roster. Yeah. 100%.
It's clear. Obviously, I think that the Bellas are popular because, there's people outside of wrestling, that aren't interested in wrestling that talk about them a lot, and that's cool that they got an mainstream appeal. But I do have I don't know. It's probably I don't know if people call it gatekeeping, but I do have an issue with people coming to wrestling who clearly are using wrestling to further kind of further another career to somewhere else. I don't think that I just feel like there was no passion for wrestling there. It was clearly she got into wrestling, got popular, then did other stuff.
Use it to get a reality show.
She used it to get a reality show, and then I'm like, see ya, I'm done.
Well, that's the other thing too. I don't really totally respect her that much either, because she was very much, I'm famous, cool, I can leave wrestling. Like, she obviously doesn't love the business either. She uses it as a stepping stone. Which, hey, get your money, girl. That's your thing, fine. But don't expect me to be totally cool when someone's like, "You paved the way."
Yeah, it'd be like someone telling Mandy Rose they paved the way. Like, she did the same trajectory. You know what I mean? But
Mandy Rose is a better wrestler. Hey,
she got again. She put the work in. She got better. But but once she got popular and then earned a lot of money.
Oh, Candice Michelle, you paved the way for the rest of us. No, you didn't.
Just because you were a woman
in WWE for a little while, it doesn't mean.
Doesn't. It'd be like when they called Summer Rae a legend. No, she wasn't. I like her.
Oh my God, that makes me think Nikki Bella.
Summer Rae for a little while
did pave the way compared to Summer Rae. Holy shit!
Summer Rae for a little while was working out at my Planet Fitness that I work out at. I didn't get a chance to talk to her at all, but a couple times she did. So she lives around the Henderson area. Let her know
she's a legend. Next time you see her,
I wanted to walk by her next time I saw her and do the Fandango thing.
Hey, why is security getting closer?
Yeah, right. I wouldn't have just stood in front of her. I could have stood in front of her awkwardly in front of the treadmill and just done it for 10 minutes, but I wouldn't have. No, that probably wouldn't have been a good idea.
She had a very awkward, fun High Spots appearance. She came and she tried selling random shoes that weren't even wrestling related, and nobody was bidding. And I was like, know your audience, woman. Jesus.
Yeah, you gotta do ring worn stuff. That's what people want.
Yeah, then we might care. You tell me that dress was at Mania. Okay, I'm kind of intrigued. But literally, she's like, "Who wants my high heels I wore last time?"
No,
nobody wants to give me $200 for these worn high heels. Oh no.
Our main event again, very newsworthy. The Yeet reign is over. 53 days, I believe, was the tally. JPO for what it is. Yeah, Jey Uso taken out by Gunther, who is once again now your 2-time world heavyweight champion, choking out Jey Uso and leaving him in the ring. They're going back to 51. I saw 53 somewhere there. Maybe I was wrong.
I
I thought I agreed with you too. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe
maybe somebody's calculating something wrong.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, who knows? But anyways, yeah, it's over. Gunther is now your world heavyweight champion, Richie. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a good match. Kind of in the back of my mind, I'm like, this could possibly happen. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, some people have speculated that like it's because Goldberg wanted a championship match.
Goldberg doesn't need a championship match. Why does he come back and automatically get one? Why? He doesn't deserve one.
I agree with you, but
why?
But there's also reports that he said himself that when he was training, he's already injured himself. So like,
yeah, he's already working.
Cut your losses.
This should be a sign. This should be a sign you shouldn't
cut your losses. You're done.
Don't do it.
You're done.
Even a shit about you since 2003.
He made a quote that he can't run. His shoulder's screwed up. Okay, so you can't do the spear. You can't do the jackhammer. All right, don't do the match. So fuck off. Go away.
I'm glad.
Yeah, we don't need it.
No.
If you're so gung ho, do a tag, do a 6-man tag. Do you really need to fucking fight for the title with the workhorse like Gunther?
We'll just find someone who's quite good, who can can do a job. You know when he destroyed Dolph Ziggler.
Fight Kaiser.
Yeah. Whatever.
Good question.
He'd be all right. Yeah, but when he destroyed Dolph Ziggler, that was a fine use of him. Whatever. But yeah, I know. But like, I don't know.
He'll be carrying Cross's last match before his thing retires, and he'll go away and ceremoniously getting speared by Goldberg with Spiel carrying Cross, and that ends his contract.
Yeah. Damn it.
Poor
but
Karrion Kross.
I knew that like Jey Uso's run wasn't going to be like long. I just had this feeling, but like, yeah, I don't know. I was surprised it was like this short. But
I thought it was at least going to last till SummerSlam, and then if you want to take it off at SummerSlam, fine. It's at least going to last till then.
That's fine. And the match is good. I did feel like some of the commentary, I felt this during the match, and it hit me during the match when like the commentary and stuff. It does feel like it was almost condescending that like when every time like Jey Uso would like actually get some offense, it was almost like hope so. Oh look, the guy did a move on him. I'm like, yeah, he's a champion. He shouldn't be what I mean.
He's not the underdog going into the match. He's the champion.
He's the champion. He shouldn't be treated as an underdog now.
He beat Gunther at WrestleMania. It's just like the Sami Zayn thing we talked about. He beat the man in the match they had. He should be the favorite.
Look at Jey Uso fighting back. I'm like, he's the champion. Like, you can't like treat him like he's like weak. Just stop. Like, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of that. Like, he shouldn't be treated as weak. And like, yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised. Like, Gunther's a great champion, and like hopefully like Jey Uso, maybe he can get it back at some stage because he is really over. So I'm not sure what the thing is there, but like, like Gunther will probably be more than a 2-time champion as when it's all said and done. But yeah, I'm surprised it was this early. I at least expected a cash in. So yeah, surprised, and probably they got more time than WrestleMania, which is weird.
Yeah, it went through 2 commercials. Yeah, they had all the time for that one. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe that's just a matter of like they were able to kind of like devote more to this match than Mania, where like they are shoehorned in for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. But JPO, go ahead. Yeah, your thoughts on
real quick, Ludo Kaiser not hurt, just he's on main event. He's on that show no one watches. Last time we saw him was in March. You have to go back to March where he's fighting Pentagon. And since
that's why it's on main event.
But hey, he's 3-0, y'all. He's defeated Tyler Bate twice in Joaquin Wilde, so he's at least getting the W on main event. What the fuck were we talking about? Oh yeah, the title match. I can start thinking about Ludwig. Yeah, man. No, okay, yeah. So looking up Jay's reign, it kind of wasn't the greatest actually. Now that I look at it again too, because he lost to Seth via DQ in his first defense on Raw. He defeats Logan Paul at Saturday Night's main event, and that's it. He actually had one successful defense at the end of the day, which is not like tremendous. No PLEs too. Wasn't a part of that backlash, and then lost on Monday Night Raw, and then only was in a tag in Money in the Bank too. So kind of missed. I think they missed the boat on that as well. Again, that's why I think Logan should have been. Another reason Logan should have been a pay-per-view match, not a Saturday Night's main event match. But no, again, I hope this is just if this fuck this. If this is also simply to get Gunther to fight Goldberg and make that match matter a little bit more, because whatever. Because that fucks over Jay for no reason. Because I like Gunther, so I'm not mad necessarily at that decision. And I'm hoping this is not the end of Jay, because I think he's done decent in the ring, and that his entrance is very much over. He cut a nice promo after Raw that's online. It was almost too happy though. I thought in that promo, he should have been a little more upset. But he did just lose the title, man. I know, like, you still got your son, and like, grass is always green. But anyway, yeah. So we'll see. If this was just a fight Goldberg, yeah, I'm gonna be a little more ticked off. But
yeah, I'm in the camp where I don't wish injuries on people. I'm just saying, Goldberg, if you're already getting injured in your training for this match, that should be a sign that, like, this is not a good idea. Just don't do it. Like, you don't need this. Like, you're a Hall of Famer. Like, just be
why
good
the
with
title
that,
though?
Yeah,
what does that prove? You had
it.
You had it on your last run.
Yeah.
Even if you're gonna lose, even if the plan is not to put him over, which I hope fucking it's not to put him over. What does it prove in one way or the other? Winning it or losing it?
Him winning.
Like Gunther, do a tag.
Last time, his winning over Brock Lesnar was like a moment. If you remember, like when we were all watching that, like we were like, "Holy shit! He just beat Brock Lesnar. He just beat Brock Lesnar." And but that was like a cool like shock moment. Like that was all right. But yeah, what are you gonna do? You gonna do that again? Like you gonna have him beat like Gunther in 2 minutes? Like
going back to the well.
Yeah, it's just I'm
if not, if Gunther beats you in 2 minutes, what does that do for your legacy?
Yeah, what does that do? Yeah, if he beats you, then so what?
I'm a big prove me wrong guy. I don't see, especially if it's for the title, me ending up at the end of the day going like, you know what? They told a really fun story and a good ending. Yeah. I just feel like this is gonna suck attitude to agree no matter what. I really do have no faith in this.
If you just putting a title hang on, I'm just use my thoughts then. If you put a title stipulation on, it just increases anxiety, and you're like, oh well, you might win. It's like. Yeah, that Goldberg Fiend match is one of his favorite matches of all time, just because of the way like you had this really cool like story with the Fiend, and he was so hot, and then I think it cooled him off quite considerably when he lost that. So
do you need to tend to something, Richie? You can if you need to. That's fine.
I will. I'll just give it some.
That's fine. Go ahead. We're just gonna do some tidbits now. So go ahead. JPL, let's get into some tidbits here. I've got one or two, and then I'll pass it over to you. So just a few that you probably would have brought up anyways. Blake Monroe is your new name for Mariah May, made official on NXT. I may have just to keep the the initials going, JPO would have gone with, Mariah Monroe. I think that would have been maybe a little rolled off the tongue a little easier. Because I'm fine with the Monroe thing. I get they're going the Marilyn Monroe route. I'm fine with that. I don't really know why you can't keep the Mariah thing. But I guess, she said it was Blake is something to do with like her, her niece or something, something related to her. Blake Monroe, JPO. What do you think? It takes some getting used to. What do you think?
I mean, yes and no. I do agree with you. Yeah, you made a good point about like maybe the name could have transitioned a little bit smoother. Like you said, actually, I don't mind that Mariah Monroe idea or something because Blake Monroe maybe is a little more stopping. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be fine. I don't. Some people I think again are overrating the change. You know what I mean? Like same thing with the Gunther back in the day. He's not Walter. Wow, it'll never work. And it's like none of us give a shit. You know what I mean? I think 6 months to a year we'll be saying Blake Monroe with no problem. So and we'll see. She had a good AEW run, so
Yeah, no, we'll see where they go, and she will definitely be involved in something. I'm sure the same weekend as All In, whether it's Great American Bash or Evolution. I'm sure we will see her on one of those two shows. and something high profile. Over on the AEW side, we did have the announcement that it is official. It'll be a winner take all for the new unified title. Kenny Omega and Okada here. I know we were all fine with them unifying the titles, getting rid of one of the belts. But I know, JPO, you already had alluded that you had some thoughts on this unified name. So go ahead as far as what you think here.
Yeah, I didn't think I was alone in it. I don't. It again just doesn't sound like a smooth name.
Yeah.
The unified championship match. Like, all right. Again, I don't know why they couldn't, like back in the day when they killed the European and the hardcore title and just kind of get swept up in the IC. Why couldn't it just at the end of the day been the Continental title? Just kill something,
or just do the international title, like one or the other.
Yeah.
Just keep
one or the other. One or the other.
That's fine.
Well,
just keep one.
True. I guess international would be bigger, right? Yeah.
International to me sounds bigger because that's like everything outside of the US. So yeah.
Same idea. That's what I was saying. Like just kill one name, absorb it into one because they do have too many male championships. You know what I mean? Every once in a while they shoehorn in a Ring of Honor title or like a AAA CMLL title, so they still dip into those categories. And like I said, there's always a pay-per-view. Every pay-per-view, one of those titles ends up getting left off because you can't have all these singles matches on a pay-per-view card. So, So I'm fine with it. I don't love the name. We'll see.
Richie,
Unified. The title I also thought looked too similar to the first women's title, just bigger.
That's people.
I'll pull up a picture, but while I'm doing that, Richie, you thoughts on the unified title, and we touched on Blake Monroe. You can touch on that if you want to.
Monroe. I bet you he would like to touch on that Blake Monroe. Sorry.
I mean, it's I don't really have much thoughts on the Blake Monroe thing. It's just a name. I think it will be. We'll get used to it, and I think she's supposed to be like that vignette was definitely a direct rip off of the like Sabrina Carpenter's video clip thing apparently, but she's also like channeling Marilyn Monroe. So at the end of the day, it's just Marilyn Monroe. But it's fine. Like you'll get used to it, and then she'll just be Blake Monroe. So I sort of look onto the thing. This unified championship. It just feels like a placeholder name. It's weird. It feels like a bigger version of the women's title.
A little bit.
The unified belt just seems like it's just because when you don't have Omega and Okada fight for it, like, you're the unified champion. If someone new's coming into it, like a new viewer's coming into it, I'm like, what are they unifying? What do they unify? Well, they didn't unify it. These other people unified it, right? And then it just sounds a bit weird. Like, just have a thing where it's like, okay, if Okada wins, then it's what is it? I can't even remember what champion's which. So if Okada wins, he's like the international champion. Or if Omega wins, then going forward it's going to be this championship. And then I don't know. I don't think you need to unveil a full-on new belt necessarily. I think you just keep one or the other, depending on who wins.
Yeah. We'll see how the title goes, but it's official, so that'll be at All In, as we all thought it was going to be official. Obviously they teased it 6 months ago, so yes, we knew this match was coming. As soon as they faced off and you saw All In the background, we knew where that was going. The other tidbit I have before I turn it over to JPO is something that I shared tonight that kind of got out today. I guess we know where some of these mystery wrestlers have been, maybe who we haven't seen on certain TV programs, because it was confirmed that this American Gladiators reboot that The Miz is hosting will have professional wrestlers involved, namely two people we haven't seen on AEW, and maybe this is why. Wardlow, now a gladiator on the new American Gladiators. We don't know what his gladiator name will be, but he is one of the gladiators. Camille, one of the female gladiators, and also former WWE wrestler Rick Boogs, one of the gladiators as well, and then a few other wrestlers, J-Rod, Jessica Roden, who I'm not terribly familiar with. Maybe JPO is when I turn it over to you. I don't know. And Jesse Goddard, aka Mr. Spectacular. I don't know who that is either, but
I know Jesse Goddard.
Oh, I know him.
Jesse Goddard. Okay, so but yeah, a few.
Probably E back in the day.
But there you go. So JPO, yeah, maybe a mystery as to where some of those people were, these mystery TV projects. But good to see some wrestlers getting involved in gladiators. I don't mind that at all. Wardlow certainly fits the part. You know what I mean? He's a big dude, big enough dude for that. So is Rick Boots.
Yeah, and when you see Goddard's, he definitely does as well. Goddard's, by the way,
yeah.
I'm an OG fan because he's a Big Brother alumni, and so he's another one of those guys that was like, I'm gonna be a wrestler one day, and sure enough, did. Yeah, TNA alumni, OVW alumni. For Goddard's. I find this really interesting, by the way, also based on the fact that, as far as we know, Wardlow and Camille are signed still, and they're on this show that's hosted by a WWE star on the Netflix, which is where WWE airs. So a little bit of I wonder if Tony's mad at all, or
that's why they're in Guantanamo Bay right now, as they call it. So
I guess, So I wonder if maybe we won't see them on TV sometime soon, because I kind of gave up on seeing Camille because like she barely even started. I feel, and then had another one of those weird
yes, she's kind of the final boss of Queen of the Ring. If you see that movie, she's sort of the final boss for what's
check it out, Malcolm.
Yeah, she's good.
Like it. Yeah. So I mean, I probably won't watch. I'll definitely, out of curiosity, watch maybe the first couple and maybe more. We'll see. But very interesting that it's very, very wrestler heavy. So,
Richie.
Yeah. First of all, with like Miz, it checks. I feel like Miz has always had game show energy. I feel like he's just destined to be a game show host, even if when he decides to leave WWE.
I feel like has he not, or maybe not.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels like he tries to host the shows even he's on, as far as the reality. When he was on the MTV shows, it seemed like he tried to kind of make himself the center of attention anyways. So maybe that's why.
He does have that game show vibe. So it makes sense. And he probably do a good job. That's probably why WWE gives him to do PR and stuff. He's good at that stuff. Good at that kind of thing.
By the way, not on Netflix though, JPO. Amazon Prime is where this Gladiators thing is, so it's actually not on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know why I said that egregiously. Sorry, I have a different Netflix news. My bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was confirming that, but when I looked up another article, it said it's going to be on Prime. So so it's all good,
but I don't know if that solves where they're being in the mystery necessarily. I think it could be a case of them calling Tony, hey, you're not doing anything with us. Technically, we got this offer. We don't really. Can we just take it? It's a job. Oh, sure.
I don't even know. It really depends on their contract. Some wrestlers just have it where, hey, you have dibs on my dates, but if my dates aren't filled, this might be a loophole because it's not a wrestling company where I don't even know if they have to fucking clear it. I don't necessarily think they do.
No.
This is not a wrestling company, so I think they can literally just take this as a side gig and just maybe hope that AEW's not going to randomly book them during a taping schedule.
Yeah,
they're probably very confident that they wouldn't, because unless they're being petty, because
and who knows when they film too. If this film on, let's say, a Thursday, or whatever, then they're really confident that they were.
Usually what happens with these things, JPO, is this has probably already been filmed. It's already in the can.
Black tape,
what it is. This is already this whole season has already been taped.
Yeah, so they probably like, hey, are you free the next?
It's like movies.
We are free.
You know how they do movie news, JPO, where it'll be like, so-and-so has been added to the cast of this movie that's already been filmed. And then they have the articles later where it's like, so-and-so has been added to this. No, they haven't been added. You're just now saying that they're also in the movie.
You're just not,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're just kind of revealing that, but the movie's usually already done. And then it says, that as well. So that's a thing. And sometimes they announce in advance, but usually with the case, they've already filmed this probably out in California or something like that.
I think it's the case TV shows here. My friend is in this I don't know if you heard of it. It's pretty big in other countries. It's just the reality comedy game show called Taskmaster, and she's my friend's in the 5th season, but in Australia they're on the 4th season, and they haven't announced a winner yet. But she's already filmed the 5th film the fifth season. They've already know that we're on the fifth season, so they sometimes they do that in blocks.
Oh, it's I actually just filmed. It's super silly. Iron Survivor that maybe Richie knows of, which is it's like an online version of Survivor with some of our movie trivia friends, and yeah, it's just now airing, and I'm just now having people congratulate me, and I'm like, for what? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I filmed that like 3 months ago because they did all the editing. Like they're just now getting to like actually upload the shows, but yeah, so I know when I'm eliminated unless I won. But you'll never know until it's actually aired.
Yeah.
I guess Malcolm says they're filming it in the UK. That's odd, but all right. Sure.
Well, Glen was a huge thing in the UK.
Yeah.
It is. Well, it's just a matter of who knows tax breaks, locations, arenas. Like for whatever reason, what was it just today? I saw John C. Reilly go. I originally signed up for Chicago because I love Chicago. We filmed none of that in Chicago.
Yeah, it's like if you sign up for a movie that's set in New York and they, film everything in Vancouver because that's what they do.
Exactly.
Or Atlanta.
It's tax breaks. It's exactly. Yeah. Some places just. What was it? Kevin Smith, some of his movies. He said like I wanted to film in Jersey, but it was just cheaper to go to blah blah blah.
Yeah, and you just got to make it look like other things. So yeah, but yeah, JPL, I'll turn it over to you. That's all I had. So what else you got going
on? Nothing too much crazy here. Let's see. For those wondering, it does look like the Continental Classic will return. So despite the fact that the title doesn't necessarily exist, it does look like the Classic will continue. So I don't know if they're just going to maybe get a shot at the new.
I would just have them get a shot at the unified title and kind of keep it roughly
I'm sure that's
the
goal.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm just saying, in case you're wondering, because there is no Continental title. The Classic is definitely something that seems like Tony likes and will continue to do. Another return on television was Tay Mello, Sammy Guevara's wife. She's on TV again now. She just wrestled her first match a couple of days ago, or last night actually. So she's back. Abaddon's a free agent. Even though she hasn't been on AWTV since December of 2023. Year and a half later, she's a free agent. So, okay.
Danhausen's contract is up pretty soon as well. So, if you want to rebook Danhausen, JPO, you can get him down there. I'm sure he'll be a free agent. So,
You know what?
Yeah.
August 8th, Danhausen will be in Real Pro Wrestling. So,
right.
Good timing. It's exactly where I was pivoting to.
Yeah, right.
Well, he was already taking bookings anyway. I believe he will be taking
I think
July
just officially, I think he's pretty much alluded his contract's probably not going to get picked up.
We might be one of his first dates as far as like him actually being a free agent. So, cool. If you're anywhere near Fort Myers, catch Danhausen at Real Pro Wrestling. And me, I'll be there. Definitely paying him more than I did a few years ago. It looks like a judge ruled in favor of the AEW versus Kevin Kelly and Take Twins lawsuit. They didn't like how kind of AEW disparaged them and let them go. And Take Twins claimed, Tony had tweeted falseness of them being late to places and whatnot. But this is like they ruled in favor of AEW. They may go into arbitration or maybe try to fight it still. But for now, it's looking like AEW's on top of that. The thing I was mentioning before about Netflix is they're going to have a series called Tuesday Night Titans, which is a surgical-driven world set in the spectacle-driven world of pro wrestling. Tuesday Night Titans will follow a tenacious writer who risks her career in the big leagues to recruit her estranged childhood best friend, a jobber wrestler on the indies, to join the same behemoth company they idolized in their youth. So that's going to be interesting. Another scripted wrestling show on Netflix, which is where some of the actual wrestling takes place. And that's the stuff I had. I'll tell mine.
Did they start that Netflix show yet? The one where it's like breaking kayfabe completely and just showing everything at like Gorilla and all that, and like right.
That one.
Yeah.
That should be interesting. I don't know if like.
There's really not much stuff that we haven't seen, but some of the Gorilla stuff might be interesting.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things that like maybe.
Rocket.
Good.
Just another contract expiry that probably didn't get renewed, which is not like he's not gonna be named or anything, but he was on. It's probably on the wall because he was on his own. It's either Bear Bronson or Bear Boulder, one of those guys from the Iron Savages, because one of them had already left because he was charged with domestic violence, unfortunately, and then so the other guy was on his own, and then he's gone now too. So the Iron Savages no longer in AEW. And yeah, I'll pivot to this just because I don't want to fully end
I
on a.
just want to make sure we have the right name. So the good one that's not an abuser is Bronson. He's the guy
Bear
that just
Bronson,
said
yeah,
he's a
okay. Bear
freak.
Bronson
So
is you're
fuck
good,
Bear
but
Bronson. Bear Boulder, maybe not. I just want to make sure we got the
well,
right people.
you could potentially go, But yeah, Bear Bronson is a free agent. You can agree that.
Yeah.
I'll pivot to this just
Lost a
because I
lot
like.
of weight too. Lost a lot of weight. If you look at him from day one in AEW to like his last run, lost a
Yeah,
lot of weight. Was doing really good. So good for him.
yeah. I'll pivot to this just because I don't, want to end like be the last news story on a sad note. But apparently, like in April, and soon just coming out now, the lady who played Claire Lynch in TNA passed away. Uh, I know it wasn't like a wrestler, she's not on the fringes of wrestling. That's probably why it wasn't, reported. But yeah, it just sort of say it's just worth noting because I don't know. I felt bad for her because like I think like that storyline never got played out. That never played itself out fully, even though it wasn't. I'd be kind in saying it wasn't the most well received storyline in the world, but like it didn't get to be played out fully because I think wrestling fans sometimes big stereotypical wrestling fans were like found out who played her and was like bombarding her, and I think she just went like this and then quit the company before that storyline could finish. And I remember they got this lawyer and there's someone playing a lawyer and they're just like, oh yeah, she accepts responsibility for the AJ thing, and then they ended it. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Real name Julia Riley. Yeah, I was in Orlando, close to her, in between, kind of like me and Pez. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so yeah. I repeat to her and condolences to her friends and family. And the other thing, apparently Jade Cargill is going to be in a movie with Jonathan Majors. Like that would be a big. That'd be a bigger deal if Jonathan Majors wasn't. It didn't torpedo his career, but still a big. It's still a decent thing. Like I expected her to get in the movies at some point. It's like I wish I had the thing up here. She's going to be like some mercenary, and it was this guy's wife who gets kidnapped. To my phone because getting pinged, but yeah, basically she's going to be a movie, not as big, probably not as a big time as like something like what Liv Morgan's going to be in, or anything like that. But like yeah, but she's getting her start in the movie, so yeah, I guess look out for that on your streaming or Redbox or whatever. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, unless does get some sort of cinema release, just hoping Jake Cargill or Jonathan Majors. So yeah, Jake Cargill gonna be doing acting stuff soon too.
Yeah. JPL, this might interest you. One other thing, if you follow NWA Power, if you'd like to, JPL, if you have a Roku, they've landed a new streaming deal with Roku, with the Roku channel. So starting July 29th, this broke I think in the last 2 days. NWA Power every Tuesday will be streaming on the Roku channel. So
I tell you what. I will give you a shot, and hopefully, unlike before, where I would watch you once every 3 to 4 months, maybe I'll watch you more. We'll see. Yeah, that product does not do much. I will watch. Is it the Hawk guy that also reviews them? Someone reviews them, and that's
Ring the Hawk does review them. He recently stopped reviewing TNA because he didn't like he doesn't like the WWE TNA relationship. He thinks it made TNA worse. I disagree, but it's just general.
I think it makes it at least interesting about who's going to show up on each show back and forth. But okay, I think it makes it more exciting. But
I'm just saying. I was working him out because his NWA reviews are either kind of worth it. So
yeah. I watched it through them
because that their roster sometimes is a bit lackluster, and then also too he makes a great point of like they book up the shows. And sometimes not everyone can make the taping schedule. So like Mikey Mondo will be there like a focal point for like an episode or two, and then gone for 4, and then back all of a sudden. So I'll still give him a shot. I want it to work. I want there to be more places for guys and girls to wrestle, but
yeah, it's been a tough opinion where I'm like, look, what I've seen through pretty much Ring the Hawk as well. Like he does God's work. I wouldn't sit through. I probably wouldn't sit through him. But like, like what I see, I'm not. Yeah, it seems to be kind of rough. But like, but the thing is, I thought they were kind of dying for a while there, and I don't want the company to die necessarily. So if this kind of injects money into them, and they got picked up, that's cool. And hopefully, creatively they can get back on their kind of back on their feet. So, and maybe bolster their roster.
They had that sweet spot like kind of before AEW's roster grew and whatnot. That like when they first started, it was fun. It was James Storm, Ricky Saints,
And then they had Cornette was on commentary for a little while. Remember that? Like
he was on commentary.
Yeah,
he made it
a comment. Yeah, but like the comment he made was like something he would say like on his podcast. It's like one of those old timey phrases where he's like, Trevor Murdoch's so tough he would run through Ethiopia with like meat strapped on his back or something like that. You know what I mean?
No, that was pretty much verbatim. Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, it's like. Okay, that's something he says those old timey things like all the time. Like, how is that any different? Like, who's getting offended over that? That's silly. Like, I don't know.
You hired Jim Cornette, and then you don't want it. Then you fire him for being Jim Cornette.
Yeah, you fire him for saying Jim Cornette things. Like, okay, all right. But yeah, so good stuff there. But yeah, I didn't really have much else. So
speaking of NWA, I did see about an hour from where. Actually, no, I live in Fort Myers now. About 40 minutes from where I live. Brodus Clay is trying stand-up comedy, so I'm kind of interested.
Go maybe observe from the back of the room, JPO, see if he's any good. I don't know. Yeah, poke your head in there. Somebody call mama. Somebody call mama.
That better be his walk-up song.
Yeah. Right. Is he going to have a comedy tour called the Somebody Call My Mama tour?
I don't know. We'll see. I thought that was a funny thing I learned. Somebody sent me like tip forward of like ticket sales, and I was like, "What is this?" I was like waking up like all confused.
Who else is going to get involved in comedy from the wrestling world? Because quite a few people doing these like one-man show, storytelling, whatever things. But I mean, Foley was good when I saw him a couple of years back. I got to see him right before. I saw him right before actually the COVID stuff happened. It was like January of 2020, like was when I saw him in Greenville. And I'm glad I did because I bought like the extra thing to get like the picture with him at the end and stuff like that. So yeah, like and I'm glad I did because obviously everything like went crazy. But yeah, he was fun when he did his. But he's been doing his for a while, so like he's a natural storyteller. Yeah,
Foley,
he's great.
Roddy Piper was fantastic. Then other comedians. I know Rob Van Dam, Colt Cabana, Hornswoggle. Yeah, a lot of them have tried it.
Right. Obviously, Undertaker's big on it right now, doing his one-man show.
His is definitely a one-man show, although he can be funny, dryly funny too, actually.
Yeah, his podcast is not bad. He's had a few decent guests on there, so not too bad. But yeah, I think we'll kind of wrap it up there. We've got an hour 45, so we won't have a 2.5 hour show like we usually do. You want to do games?
Let's do a game.
You want to do a game? All right, we can do it. You want to do one or two letters of the leftover letters? You want to do that?
Let's do some letters.
Okay. All right. I gotta make the thing. All right. All right. Give me a second to make the wheel, and I'll make the wheel. Sure.
You talk like JPO is like an eager dog. You want to do a game? Okay.
Well, speaking of games, though, we are planning on doing. We are planning on still doing Lonely Mark's game night next week, right? Just to jump ahead until next week. Everybody's gonna kind of bring their own little trivia games and fun stuff. Like I alluded to, since I've got the StreamYard, I might do like an audio game, maybe some wrestling themed type of games. I might do like a gimmick match game, something like that, and then y'all can do whatever you want to bring. We'll do like a round table. We'll just go around the horn and everybody will do quick kind of nothing super long, just quick kind of rapid fire games, like maybe 10 questions of this, 10 questions of that. So things like that. But yeah, let me update my letters here and see which ones we haven't used yet, because I do have a note app where I'm marking up the ones as we do them, so I'm getting there.
I do have some breaking news, which is surprising given his age, but apparently RVD is going to be a dad. Anyway, there you go.
At 50? All right.
Yeah.
Dude, there's no surprises for dudes.
No surprise for dudes. I'm just saying. All right.
Who just had a kid? That's like 90. I can't remember.
Robert De Niro is like 82. Just had a kid.
Oh, De Niro. Like De Niro's a good job.
Yeah. All right.
That kid's gonna see his dad maybe up to 16, maybe 18, 20 tops.
I think it'll be 18.
Guys, as I pull this up, remind me if we did one or two of these in the last week or two. I'm trying to remember if I knocked them off or not as I did them. I've got IKLMNOQRSWYZ. Do any of those sound familiar? Did we do R? I'm trying to remember if I have my.
I remember someone saying rooster.
Someone saying what?
I remember someone saying rooster for something, for like Terry Taylor, rooster. I remember someone saying rooster.
Oh, Red Rooster.
We did K. Take K off.
Okay, yeah, we did K. Okay. All right. And then did we do R? I think we did R. Yeah, we did do R. Okay. Yeah, I think we did. Okay. So I'll take those two off.
R is off. Yeah, take R off.
Okay, gotcha. So let me mark those off my personal. All right, I think we did those two because those are juicy ones we did for a while.
Yeah, so. then I'm back to movie notes. So those are the only two I have kind of together.
All right, well, let me shuffle these up and let's see what we got. Again, we got a few of these that will go fairly quickly, so we'll find one or two juicy ones. Let me get my board as well as I'm spinning this, but let's see what we got here.
Its board spells owl on a sexual.
There you go. Okay. So we'll start. We'll go. Okay. All right. Let's do that. So I'll just pull this off the screen. I'll keep it off screen on the other side. Let me get my board here so I can start writing stuff down.
Is this one hard, or am I blinking just at first?
This one might not be. This one might not be a super long one. Yeah, but we'll see what we can scrounge up. But as always, we'll go in a circle, and I'll like to go last. So Richie, you can go first if you like.
Octagon.
There you go. All right.
Octagon Junior.
Is there an Octagon Senior? I don't know. Probably not. Can I just say
Senior is exactly what Richie said.
Can I just say Okada, or do we have to say Kazuchika Okada?
Nah, that's K. I honestly think that's K.
Okay. All right. We'll go with Omos or Omos. Yeah, Omos.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy.
Owen Hart.
Damn. This might not be as lucrative as kind of thought I was.
I have nothing yet myself for the next one, so you're not in the right
now. Damn, might be out already. I'll take 10 more seconds. I got nothing, so I guess I'm fact checking. All right, go ahead, Richie. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'll fact check from here. So go ahead.
Odyssey Jones.
All right, give me 30 seconds, and I'll give it to you, Richie. Let's see. I'm trying to even think of like just good O names in general.
Yeah.
Oprah. Orion in the Dark. Oh, I'll actually take that. OVW wrestler Orion. Orion. Boom.
Oh, I should have said NWA wrestler that I didn't say yet, but okay, I won't spoil it.
NWA.
We're not the end yet. But
Orlando Jordan.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any other Orlandos? Octavius's. No? Octavius. Another Owens? Or Owen, I guess. Let's see. Any other oranges? Was it like an orange? You know?
I've got one.
Yeah. I'll have mercy. I bet you somebody's called the Overtaker. I bet you somebody is. Won't count that. I'm just saying somewhere on the indie, somebody who did that.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, fuck it. Richie, what do you got?
I'm surprised Pez didn't pull it. Oklahoma.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, goddamn.
What were you thinking of, Pez, for your...
Odinson. He's a guy I ref for who's in OWA right now.
Oh,
Odinson.
yeah. Looks like a Mad Max guy.
Yeah, he does a Mad Max gimmick here where he goes like witness, he spreads things. Yeah, I've ref for him actually. He used to team with Mikey over there.
Bro.
So a few of the ones I pulled up. One Man Gang. Remember he was in the Rumble opening recently. ODB TNA.
Oh God.
ODB. Ortiz of Santana and Ortiz, the tag team.
Where's he going?
Yeah, that's true. They did just call him Ortiz.
They call him Ortiz. Ole Anderson of the Anderson family. Ole Anderson. And then I've got Ox Baker. Obafemi, duh. Obafemi, current NXT champion, duh. Ox Baker, who was then made an appearance in Escape from New York, you remember, in that kind of pseudo wrestling scene. He was a pro wrestler. So that's a few of the ones I pulled up. So yeah, we really shit the bed on that one, didn't we?
I mean, wow. Crazy one. There's other ones where it's like we go forever, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess could you see the original Sheik? The original Sheik? Did they bill him as that?
Yeah, I guess that's his name, right?
Yeah, right. So I was
speaking of OVW, my friend Omar Amir was a former OVW champ. Oh, there is another Orlando. Before it's either Epico or Primo. It was Orlando Cologne. Shit.
Yeah.
There's another Orlando.
Okay.
Damn.
All right.
Otto Schwanz. Outback Jack. Remember Outback Jack? Anyone?
Outback Jack. Oh my god.
All right, so yeah, there wasn't too many more, but
okay, so yeah, I mean, we missed a few, but yeah, not too many. All right, let's pull up the wheel again and let's hit it again and see what we got.
And we'll get Q.
Yeah, we got Q or Z. N could be lucrative, but L could be. L, we can work with L. All right, we can work with L. All right, let's work with that. There we go. So I think there's a decent amount there. So let me erase my board here.
I'm sorry, I'm coming back.
All right.
I'm here. Is it me?
Right. Well, I guess Richie won, so I guess if you want to go first, Richie, you can have first crack at it, I guess.
Go for it.
All right. I don't know why this came to mind first. Larry Zbyszko.
Sure. We'll go Lex Luger.
I'll go current NXT. Lash Legend.
Luna Vachon.
Oh, low key.
Yeah. Lenny Lane, WCW.
That honestly, my next one I have written down.
Yeah.
Luke Gallows.
Okay, I'll see you, Lenny Lane. I'll match you with Lodi.
Yeah, I was literally about to write down Lodi. Let's tag team partner.
Yeah, that's the 1-2 was on my board. Yeah.
Luke Harper.
Luther Reigns.
Lenny Poffo.
Larry the Axe Hennig.
Yeah. Lyra Valkyria.
There you
go. Rest in peace, sweet and sour, Larry Sweeney.
I thought of him.
I refed a match with him and X-Pac in FIP.
Oh,
yeah.
Pez, so. Fuck you.
Yeah, I got a ref for
as in awesome.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, I got to know him for the time that, unfortunately he was with us. Go back to WCW. Lash LaRue. Remember the Raging Cajun Lash LaRue? Yeah.
Lana.
Louis Spicoli.
La Parca, luchador.
Gonna go La Parca Jr.
Well, because it's San Del Rio. I would say no because it's Del Rio, isn't it?
Is it? Is LA Park the same guy?
So there's two different. So LA Park is the original La Parca.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep the name anymore. So I don't know. Like that one's arguable, I think, because I was gonna say LA Park.
I think somebody different has played him though, if I remember right. Like like
no, there's
different
definitely
people
two
in the past?
Laparcas. There's two
Yeah,
Laparcas for
yeah.
sure.
Uh-huh.
That's why, yeah.
Okay.
I was just saying for Richie's, are we accepting Laparca Jr.? Because I thought it was El Hijo de Laparca.
Yeah.
I've got someone else if you just want me to go with that.
We'll go to someone else then. Yeah.
All right, Lee Johnson.
Lee Johnson, okay. Fair.
Nice. Can I say L.A. Park or no?
Sure, why not? I don't care. I'll raise you the other Lee on the pre-shows, Lee Moriarty.
Damn it! I just read. I should just know that.
Yeah, right. The other pre-show Lee.
Man, Layla.
You know what, guys? Can I be serious for a moment and say Lance Storm?
What hell?
Yeah.
What am I thinking of?
Did anybody say the guy who just main evented Money in the Bank, Logan Paul?
No.
Nope.
Lance Archer.
Okay.
Damn, I was trying to think of other matches. Hey, main event superstar Ludwig Kaiser.
Ludwig Kaiser. Leo Rush.
Nice shit.
Yeah.
Ludwig Hogan.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's another Ludwig.
Just about to throw it out there.
Yeah.
All right. TNA alumni Larry D.
I'll go TNA. Wasn't Victoria's name like Lisa Marie or Lisa Varon or something like that? Lisa.
She wrestled as that though? She was Tara.
Did she wrestle as that, or
I
did
don't
she ever
remember
wrestle as that? Maybe on the Indies.
Wrestled as that.
I don't know if she did.
If not, I got to back up. I got a different one.
I'd say backup because I feel like
I'll go back up. I'll go with somebody who I have ref for that wasn't AEW for a little bit. Leva Bates.
Quit naming my friends. All right, shit.
I know. I ref for many times. Yeah, many times.
I forgot she was the ref. She actually was the ref.
Yet?
Oh, the fucking legend? No. God damn it. He has an action figure. CM Punk's dog Larry? Okay, oh, okay. I'm going deep cut deathmatch here. Low life Louis Ramos.
Low life Louis. Yeah, I have a few IWA deathmatch tournaments with him.
There you go. Yeah. Prolific enough.
Did anybody fucking say LA Knight yet?
No.
LA
Knight. But yeah, the answer is no.
LA. Literally, you say L before you say the rest of his name. We are morons when it comes to this, aren't we? We're really bad.
I'm throwing up Low Life Louis before LA Knight.
Before LA Knight, yeah, we literally just saw the review.
Oh yeah, leader as well. Lindsay Dorado.
Yeah, he was also on Worlds Collide this weekend.
And another guy I'd fucking like really cool, dope guy.
Well, I've rep for numerous times, JPO. Yeah, fucking Lindsay.
I know he talked about ditching the mask, but then I guess WWE signed him. He's like, never mind, put it back on.
Never mind.
Fuego del Sol. Fuego del Sol is maskless, by the way, if you're wondering about him. There, I go through my check. Okay, so now I gotta think. L. Lenny Dykstra, wrong sport.
Damn, I got like 3 more. I might be tapped.
Ah, damn you.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm running low.
Low.
Low. You're like low rider, low guy, low person.
No, I'm sorry, but Lowrider. Boom.
Oh, is he? Is that a brand?
Yeah, Ring of Honor, USA Pro, CCW. Yeah, Boogaloo and Lou Ryder.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Go, Bez.
Cool. He technically main evented WrestleMania. Lawrence Taylor.
I was thinking of him. Did she ever wrestle as? Did Shaniqua ever wrestle as Linda Miles? Her name?
I don't think so. It's just her name on the show, right?
Well, I'm trying to think if they ever shoehorned her in a match. Like John Hennigan, I think wrestled with John Hennigan once.
Don't worry, I got one.
I'm leaning towards no, like Victoria. Like it's definitely.
Okay, Lars Sullivan.
Lars, yeah, okay.
It actually gave me somebody. Or did it?
I got like two more. I'm tapped.
Richie, Lars only? That's a TNA guy, right? Wasn't that a TNA guy?
I feel like it was.
Fuck it. I'll bring it down to you guys if you guys have.
I'm almost out, Richie. I got Leilani Kai. That's my next one.
Oh,
yeah.
He should know Leilani Kai.
Yeah, Leilani Kai.
Another one.
Who you know personally?
Connection.
Yeah, right. Florida lady. Yeah.
Who was on set
yes.
But Richie, if you can pull a couple, I got like one. I'm tapped.
Is it on cage match? I don't know. Does she have a match on cage match? Lillian Garcia.
Yes.
Did she officially like have a match at some point?
She has. I just asked this on Wrestling with Trivia. She had a tuxedo match with Finkel.
Okay. All right. So this might be my last one on tap. Trevor Murdoch's partner, Lance Cade.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But I might be tapped after this unless I can pull one in the next 30 seconds.
Okay, I got one. And I'm out. Lufisto.
Oh yeah, the chick, right? Yeah, she's been in a couple of deathmatch tournaments, right? Yeah, she wrestles the guys. I'm pretty much tapped. I'm done. I got nothing left. So you got that one.
Lacey
Von Erich. Lacey Von Erich. Oh yeah, she's terrible.
Lady Frost. Maybe signed to Lance on Hawaii. Everyone's favorite Von Erich was Lance Von Erich, the one MJF played. Speaking of this weekend, Laredo Kid.
Laredo Kid, yeah. I thought like Ligero, but I think he's El Ligero, so I didn't write that one down. I think he's El Ligero.
Yeah, I would have said EL.
Yeah.
Someone said Larry Zbyszko, right?
Me.
I
could have said Lord Steven Regal.
Yeah, I think I've gotten. I think I versed Jacob on something, and I got him on something.
Lord Alfred Hayes. There's two lords. I forgot. Lord Alfred Hayes. Jeez.
Well, I know if Alfred Hayes wrestled though.
I think he wrestled at one point.
Okay, maybe.
Most of those guys.
Latin Lover's another famous.
Yeah, he was on the original Worlds Collide. Yeah, they talked about him on that show. Yeah.
Xia Li's new name in TNA is Lee Ying Lee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Leo Burke, old school. Old school. Leon Ruffin. Remember the guy that was so skinny where he put out a North American title, it would fall to his ankles. Leon Ruffin.
That's right.
Yeah.
Les Thatcher, again, if you want to go old school.
We
all could have gone back and forth and said Los Conquistador 1 then 2. If you like your old school Florida, Lex Lovett, Lexi Fife.
Oh, yeah. No, I met Lexi Fife a couple times, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Before X-Pac, he was Lightning Kid on TV.
Luke Hawx. It was around a bunch of Luke Hawx, a bunch of stuff. Yeah, WSX, a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, and pretty high end indie guy. Yeah.
I don't think Linda never had a match. McMahon, she never had a match, did she?
No, she didn't.
I don't think she ever was officially in a match. No, she was always a second or something.
WrestleMania alumni, Little Beaver. And Little Guido. Could have gone Little Guido.
Oh,
Little Guido, duh.
Liz Mark Jr., and I'm guessing there's probably a Liz Mark Sr.
Yeah. Yeah, Liz Mark was all over those WCW Nitros and stuff. Yeah, I should have thought of that.
Speaking of this weekend, Lola Vice was not said.
Lola Vice. Fuck me.
Everyone but like Sid Vicious and Kane have been Lord Humongous in the past.
Okay.
Oh, Captain Lou Albano.
Jesus. We're not good.
More old school, Lou Thez.
Lou Thez, duh. The Lou Thez press. Yeah, duh.
Lucky Cannon, NXT alumni.
I always talk about them.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Bushwhacker Luke.
Oh yeah, he was also on Saturday's Main Event recently. He's in the
you guys want to roll one more, or you want to tap it out there?
You can roll one more.
One more? All right, we'll cut it off at 3.
And that is about it as far as noticeable L's.
All right, let's see what we pull for our last one here. Not W. I think we can work with W. So all right, W we can work with. All right, let's do it. All right, pull it off the screen there. All right, W. All right. All right, JP, you want to go first this time? We'll rotate it a little bit. So,
off the top of the dome, Wesley.
Will Ospreay. Real obvious here.
Wesley Blake. You said Wesley.
Give me a minute. Willow Nightingale.
Yeah, well, we just talked about him, Wardlow.
William Regal.
Yeah.
Okay. Willow the Wisp. Jeff Hardy's fucking weird thing.
God.
Can I say Will Hobbs? Like for Powerhouse Hobbs?
Yeah.
Did he wrestle Will Hobbs?
That's what he's billed as. That's what he's billed as before.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Powerhouse is added later.
Yep. All right. Sweet.
Warhorse.
Okay. Wrecking Ball Legursky.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. He's on the indies. He did like House of Hardcore for Dreamer a lot. Yeah.
Fair enough. I watched him break his leg, JPO at Vintage in the main event, repping his match, Wes Briscoe.
Oh, gnarly.
Yeah, he broke his leg in the main event. We had to stop the match. Yeah,
he's not
pretty gnarly. Yeah.
For his nice guy. Waylon Mercy.
August Artois just fought a man named Wesley Pipes.
Okay.
In Canada.
All right. Wheeler Yuta.
Wendy Richter.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder.
One other writer.
Zack Ryder.
You remember her? Run. Shit. I'll fold my. I'll have fun. I'm not gathering any.
All right. Walter. Walter.
Yeah. Willie Mack.
Didn't he wrestle as Warrior in WCW? Because I couldn't say Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah,
so Warrior.
trademark. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Oh man, really? What?
I got like 3 more, and I might be tapped.
Where's well, you don't count the, right?
What?
Probably not. You can try it, but probably not.
What
The
were you thinking?
wall.
The wall?
The
Oh
wall
yeah,
counts?
you're fine. Yeah.
The wall counts. Yeah, WCW.
I
The
don't.
wall.
Yeah. We don't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we don't.
The thing is fine. Yeah, we don't count the thing because next I would say
Undertaker's you.
Because next I would say the Warlord.
What the?
I just wrote him down. That was what I was about to say.
Yeah, the Warlord. Got 2 or 3 more, and
I will say the list is not long. There's a couple deep cuts you might be able to pull, but the list of like you should get is not long at all.
I would say we said a lot of the obvious ones, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's one semi-obvious, and everything else is a smaller, and then there's maybe other deep cuts.
Yeah.
I'll let you have it.
I would have put it away with Wade Barrett.
Oh, fuck me.
He's the biggest one I'd say was on the board.
Yeah, I had Wahoo McDaniel because he's
that's the next one I have.
It's one of my girls' favorite wrestlers actually from back in the day. It was Wahoo McDaniel, and I don't know if you would have counted Wildfire Tommy Rich. Like he probably was built to that at one point. So maybe
as a nickname, I would have thought that person because that's a nickname, Wildfire, not a build name. But yeah, other than like weird deep cuts, like I'd say Wife Beater. Remember there's like
CZW Wife Beater, yeah. Or I think his most famous thing was pulling out a weed whacker and weed whacking somebody in the chest. Yeah.
So other than deep cuts like that, the only 3 that I think are kind of fun, Wolfgang, who just got released, he was a Gallus.
Oh yeah, fucking Wolfgang.
Wendy Chu, the girl who like fell asleep but is now a demon. Wendy Chu on NXT, and then finally, what could have been said, Will Sasso.
Will Sasso, yeah, he wrestled a couple times. What, by the way, weird Will Sasso change in. Why is he playing like tough guys in all the movies I see in him now? Like,
he's in Clown dude.
He's in that, but he was also in that movie I watched. That Frank Grillo time loop movie. He's like the tough.
Yeah, I was gonna say him. Boss level.
Yeah, he's like trying to play like
henchman.
Tough guy henchman. Yeah, in that movie. Like, what's the deal with him? Like trying to be like tough guy Will Sasso.
But whatever pays the bills, man. Like he's still a funny guy in interviews. But if that's what's coming to him,
I mean, sure, yeah.
Acting wise.
Sure, yeah. All right, so I'll mark W off our thing. So we still have a few left over. We still got a few we can run the tank. So yeah, we still got MSIQZYN. So we got a few juicy ones there, but a few kind of duds. But we'll save a few for a few more. All right, so there we go. Cool. Well, there's a little more of the AZ game. You guys like to whip that every now and then, and of course we can always run it back and just do it all over again if we want to. We'll forget all the ones we said last time. All right, so let's wrap it up there for the Lonely Marks. So yeah, next week. Yeah, speaking of games, I think we're trying to plan. It's kind of a dead week. We're gonna do sort of a Lonely Marks game night, and everybody's gonna bring some different trivia games, and we'll do kind of a round table. We'll just kind of go around the horn. Everybody will kind of do a round of a game. go to the next person, host a round of a game, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll have a little fun with that. I will be out of town the week after that. So we may or may not be having a show, depending on if I want to take my laptop at the hotel on the road. I don't know if I want to do that or not. We'll see. I'll kind of let you guys know, but I will be out of town unless I want to add, Jacob to the stream, and I can set it up in advance if he wants to run it off of mine, or whatever the case is. We'll talk about it maybe next week, see what you guys want to do, because we do have that will be the 2 days before Night of Champions, so it would be a prediction show. But if we don't get a chance to do it, we can always just drop our predictions, in the thing and then talk about it afterwards. So it's up to y'all. We'll talk about it off air. But yeah, other than that, JPO, what you got going on? Anything you want to throw out there?
Yeah, online, of course, catch me here, catch me over at the Piersco. We had a fun night tonight on both Long Time First Time, as well as a trivia match that was filmed just tonight. So check those out and all of the shenanigans we have there. Pierce Wrestling, we're in the semifinals right now of the tournament, and then we're about to be in the finals. So that one's wrapping up pretty nicely. And then IRL, in real life, if you're seeing this right now or early tomorrow, and you're anywhere near Fort Myers, come hang out. We got your FIP champ, August Artois. We got former TNA and NXT star Madman Fulton. We've got Ryzen from AEW Dark. We've got me. We've got Noah Vale. We've got The Gifted. We've got a lot of fun people on that show. And then, like I said, then August, we got Danhausen. So we got some fun stuff happening here in Fort Myers.
Yeah, I saw your little promo you posted today, right?
This is my GM
your
rundown.
commissioner promo. Yeah, sort of rundown of the show. Yeah, I like
Commissioner,
it.
GM, ambassador. Yeah,
right.
I'm all with the gimmicks.
You put on the suit jacket for that one, and the sport coat, and then run that down. Yeah.
I should iron that sometime.
I like it. Richie, what you got going on?
Yeah, you can find me on on that ASAT that you mentioned. You can find me on Rankin coming up on Sunday. Talking
I'll be there too.
Talking Gerard Butler movies. Should be fun.
Jerry Butts.
Movie 43, baby. He's a funny
man. Yeah.
I gotta look at his 12. I'm not cocky that it won't maybe make it. I don't know. I gotta.
He's the best segment of that movie, dude. I will hands down.
It all depends on the vote. I always vote more for the movie than necessarily them, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe.
Yeah.
Wheeler movies. Next week we're doing Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, JPO. We're doing a little Sandman finally on Wheel of Movies. But I know that interferes with Long Time First Time, so I don't.
You always do it like at 8, right?
Yeah, we do it at like 8:30, so I'm not gonna pressure you to kill that. But we are doing Sandman. If you can tune into that, at least we'll be talking some Sandman. So finally on Wheel of Movies, we spoke Big Daddy. So there you
go. Other than that,
I can wipe my own ass.
Gonna fight T Ranker. I don't know why they.
I can double check, but I was told which Sprouse twin said that line, so I'll give you some exclusive,
trivia bits. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
if you want to shoot me some trivia for that, I will gladly give you credit and read.
That's the only trivia bit is I have a friend who's friends with either Dylan or Cole. I always forget.
Which one?
Ask him in the movie whose line made it. Is it his or the other one? And his quote was, he said, "Anything that's good like that scene was me. My brother was basically a stand-in." I was like, "Oh shit!"
So he got all the goods. He got like all the Frankenstein bits. He got like Dylan, all the breakfast bits.
But I could be wrong. Yeah, whoever said he claims that the Wipe His Own Ass scene is him, and all the good scenes are his. That like the brother was just there for the fill-in shit.
Yeah. Kangaroo song.
I like how they both took time off. They both took time off, and now they're both doing shit now. But
no, they're both doing their own thing. One's on Riverdale, the other one's done a couple. Like one of them had like a trilogy of like rom-coms that fell under the radar on like Netflix. There's like three of them. Yeah, so they're working. They're working.
Yeah. And then one was in like Lisa Frankenstein. Was it Cole?
Yeah. So they're working. Good for them. They're like the Wolf Brothers. They stopped hanging out together, but they're still working.
But yeah, so that's what I got. That's what I got going on. I think I'll be in the horror free for all when that happens as well, probably.
I was going to be in that, and then he moved it to the week I'm on vacation. So I was going to be in that, and then he moved it. Yeah, as far as me, I'll be on Ryan Permis's Anti-Quote channel tomorrow night, doing a little anniversary commentary for Batman Forever, R.I.P. Val Kilmer. So we'll talk Val, talk Batman. Then right after that, I'll be heading over to the Movie Hero Network. I'll be hosting the Dad Movie Tournament, all those movies that are Dad approved. So yeah, that should be a fun one. A lot of old school movies, some fun stuff in there. I'm kind of the Dad movie expert over on the Movie Hero Network, so I'll be kind of hosting that one. It should be a fun one. Get some different movies in there. And then another commentary sort of thing, our monthly mistake, myself and Wolfman over on Mega Movie Z this Saturday. Since today is technically we're into Friday the 13th, so it's a Friday the 13th this month. We'll be doing our annual Friday the 13th drink along of Friday the 13th Part 5, The New Beginning, the one without Jason, the one with Roy, the ambulance driver.
Oh God,
that's the fake Jason.
Why are you doing that? You better be drunk.
Because it's a bad one. We do bad movies on
you are right.
Mistakes.
It is bad.
So, we do the bad stuff. That's what we do. So yeah, we'll be drinking along to that for our Friday the 13th. So there you go. We'll wrap it up there. Hopefully Jacob obviously will be back with us for next week's Lonely Marks Game Night. I mean, we might touch on news like very quickly if there's anything like big breaking news.
Yeah, we'll save it just for the biggies.
Yeah. Just the biggies, but if it's all just like little tidbits, we'll save it for another time. Unless something major happens, it might just be kind of a standard week. Not a lot going on in this next week. I know they're setting up for that. Is AW having that Mexico show? Is that next week or is that the week after? Something like that. I can't remember. I don't know. I know that they were kind of setting that up, but that could be in the next 2 weeks. I don't remember. If anything comes out of those big shows, we'll talk about it briefly. But yeah, WWE will be continuing the King of the Ring. We might briefly say who moved on real quick, like 15 minutes at the beginning. We might run down a few news bits and then we'll get into the game, so it won't be too long. So join us for Lonely Marks Game Night next week. Should be a lot of fun, playing some games, doing some trivia, having a good time. So we'll get that ready and have that for you. So so for JPO, for Richie, I am Austin Pezhel. We'll see you guys next time on Lonely Marks. Bye.